It is August, so once again, we're doing another live fantasy football mock draft. Thought we are going to go flying solo tonight. We're talking in the chat about that potentially, but our guest came on, so luckily I don't have to do that. So welcome to the WalterFootball.com After Dark show for August 28th. We're doing another mock draft, as I said, so I'm going to post the link right now. I think we have 4 spots still available, so we're going to start as soon as it fills. Please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video, visit the link in the description for the merch store. As always, something for the merch store. It is the May is Wrath Month t-shirt. My son was like, Daddy, what is that? And I explained the Summer of Love to him. So, it's not just cool shirts, also educational. You can get that as well as everything else here on the merch store. We currently have 20% off. We have t-shirts, mugs, our famous apron. With the t-shirts, you can change the colors. You can get long sleeve, you can get hoodie, you can get women's tank top, you can get infant onesie for Kenny, you have a baby, you can get one of these. Actually, I should probably send one to you. So maybe I'll do that. Also, you can consider getting my books on Amazon. The most recent one is Jerks of the College Years. It is a book about weird people I met at Penn State. I was there for 6 years. And I spent just a lot of time bumping into these strange people, and I wrote all about them. So I think you'd have a lot of fun reading it. Also consider super chat, super stickers. That's the best way to support the show. RMAC gave us $100 super chat last week. So once again, thanks so much, RMAC. And then in the past, we had Slew and John Sanders, Degeneron, Cam Macon Eagle, the boss, etc. You guys have been so great. Good morning, Kenny. Is everyone is like, Walt's gonna fly solo. So thankfully, Kenny's on, the president of thecapIsFake.com. Kenny, how's it going?
Oh, I'm feeling rested because I just woke up from a nice nap.
Nice.
And to all of you who would have been sad if I missed this, you can thank my wife because I was dozing off. About an hour ago, I said to my wife, "Oh, I'm going to record with Walt. I'm just gonna rest for a moment before we record." And anyway, a couple minutes ago, my wife was like, "Hey, are you recording?" And I'm like, it popped up. Oh, let's go.
Well, there we go. He got in just in time because I was going to start this without you. And then no, we have 3 spots remaining. And also, I said in the chat already that I was looking forward to it because you're going to call me out on 2 things you said, and also I told you so moment. Although we kind of already discussed that.
Yeah.
And then you said you were going to give me 2 reasons as to why I should download WhatsApp. So I'm looking forward to all of that today.
And you gave the most absolutely Walter absurd response.
Do you want to share it, or do you want me to share it?
I don't want to steal your thunder. I mean, this is...
Well, it was like you said, I'm going to give you 2 reasons to download WhatsApp, and I said, if it's great Asian lesbian porn and bonus bets for sports betting, I'm all in. Kenny, do you know how hard it is to find great Asian lesbian porn? Like,
I don't know. Have we discussed this on the show or not? That I do not watch pornography, and you indulge. We are different in this way.
Yeah, no, I probably have one of the largest collections in the world, and you do not. You've never watched it, right?
No, I mean, when I was like a teenager, sinful teenager. No.
Sinful. Yeah.
What was that software we all Kaza, or was it Kaza or LimeWire or one of those?
Kaza, Lime. Yeah, all those. Yeah, people used to download that stuff all the time, and now they're just websites, and you just pay for them. Kenny is a good man. Hey, wait a second. What's this insinuation that the porn is bad? I think porn's great. I think it's fantastic. You need to know Kenny Walt is a Camara hater.
No, okay. I realized something. Here's the 2 things about. Here's the 2 features. There's 2 features in WhatsApp that make WhatsApp great, and we actually could use it for the show. And so I realized, the problem with like text threads is you can't. They're tied to a certain number of people. So it's like if we have a text thread with 10 guys, and we want to create a new text thread, then we have to create a new text thread with, like, if one of those guys don't want to get text anymore, then you have 9 new guys, or you have 9 guys. Well, that old text thread basically goes away. Well, with WhatsApp, you can basically have a text thread, a channel. You can have 10 people on it. One person can leave, but the text thread stays the same. So you have all the history of the text thread. That's one thing that you can't do Now, if you have all Apple users, you can do that on Apple, but um, if once you mix Apple and Android, you can't do that. So that's one value of WhatsApp.
It's
There's
certainly
also a
not
limit.
Asian lesbian porn, but I don't think you can do that. You can't do that normally. Like if
No,
someone leaves, it just goes away.
yeah,
What in
if
text?
me, you, and Dennis have a text for the three of us,
Yeah.
and then we can't add a person to that text thread and have the history of all the chat. If we add a
Oh, okay.
person,
I see.
right? So it's stationary, and so you have the history of all the chat. So people can come and leave, and you have the history of all the chat. And then there's also a limit. If you have all Apple users, it's 32 people. If you have a mix of Apple and Android, it's 20 people is the limit on texting. Or WhatsApp, there's no limit. You can also have so we could have a Walter Football WhatsApp channel that you would control, and anyone who wants to join, you can make it open, put a link on the website, and then anyone can join, and then it's a constant, basically text thread. People can join and leave as they want. So
Hmm.
I kind of was thinking about it a couple of days ago, like, okay, what is actually the purpose of WhatsApp? Like in my mind, I was like, you kind of got me. I was like, okay, what is the
That's
purpose
right.
of
That's
this?
right.
Like, why do we? And I realized, oh, really, it's because we want to try to make the text thread not connected to individual people, but it's sort of the standalone thing that people can jump in and out of as they want to. And then then you can make the text thread public or not public. A lot of the features are basically a Facebook group where you can post things to the thread without all the accoutrement of Facebook. Anyway, that was
Okay.
it.
Okay.
We can have a WhatsApp group for the Walter Football After Dark show, and all of the listeners can join, and we can be sending each other memes all day long.
Would anyone, people in the chat, would you be interested in that? That's interesting. Okay.
Right.
So that's one thing.
That was it. Sorry, I said two
Oh,
things. It wasn't
oh.
two. It was. I don't know why I said two. That's it.
Okay. You got me. You got me thinking about two things, and that's why I listed two
Sorry,
things.
sorry.
You got me excited with all this potential. I think no, that's actually kind of interesting. I don't know. Does everyone like?
Kind
Does
of interesting. That's pretty good. That's good movement.
So I said, what'd you say? It's sold for 17 billion, and I says I wouldn't. It's not worth $17,000. Um, I maybe it is worth 17,000. Maybe. Does everyone in there like have your phone number and stuff?
You can join with your phone number or not, and so then you determine when you join a group what information is divulged to the group.
I see. Okay. All right. That's it's certainly something to think about.
Right.
Yeah, people use WhatsApp in Europe because a lot of people get charged for SMS. Okay, that makes sense too. Let me
Yeah.
let me hold on.
We're way off the rails here. Sorry.
Well, no, I mean,
I started the show with a derailment. Like, why wait till the end?
no, why not? I mean, we didn't start the the draft yet. It's kind of late, so we're having issues. We need two more people in here, so hopefully we get started soon. Just posted the link again. We have two more spots left, and then we can get started. Yeah, I mean, look, if people are interested in doing a WhatsApp group for the show, I'd be willing to do it. So. I was looking forward to never having WhatsApp and like skipping it, and then like 20 years from now, people will be like, "Oh, remember WhatsApp? I remember WhatsApp." I'm like, "Well, I never had it, haha." You know, it could be like my glorious moment. But maybe you do have a point. Maybe there is some use to it after all.
All my Brazilian friends use WhatsApp, and I was talking to one of the guys today. He's like, the real reason I got popular is because in Brazil, it was text messages were not free. You had to pay per text, was expensive. So WhatsApp uses, data, and so it's not a per message thing. So he said it got really popular, and people just stop. Once something is popular and people are used to it,
Yeah,
they just they don't switch. And so he was like, I was telling him about, I got a friend who refuses to use it. He's like, yeah, he's like, if WhatsApp came on the scene today, it probably would not get nearly as popular because it's
yeah, we're starting now. Walt, you gotta have to try new things, bro. Well, look, I try new things sometimes. Like what I tried the other day. Like I never had like Cool Ranch Doritos before, so I tried that.
they're kind
So
of gross.
yeah, I wasn't a fan. Like people like this stuff. I'm like, it always seemed gross to me, but I'm like, you know what? I'll try it, and then I didn't like it. So It just goes to show that you probably shouldn't try new things. But I guess once in a while it's okay. I think if it makes sense, like it's like trying new things, but like to me, WhatsApp is like just fancy text, and why would I need it? So all right, so we are starting. Bijan goes, Chase goes, and then you're gonna be up after this pick. Tried Ruffles cheddar, and it's goaded. Is that the sour cream and cheddar? That's pretty good. You're up, Kenny, at 104. So what are you doing here?
Yeah, I intentionally did this. I intentionally wanted to be in the spot because if Barkley's ever available in this spot, he's an easy pick for me.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to wrestling through like the guy I really like in this spot right here. I like. There's no way he's going to make it back to me, but I don't know if it's actually the right pick. But I'm going to do it. The best player in this spot right here is Derrick Henry. I like Derrick Henry, but everyone keeps saying everyone. It feels like it's too early. It's too early. I'm just like, I don't know. I just trust him more than like it's Jamar Chase, it's several running backs, and then it's a few other receivers. Like, and so Jahmyr Gibbs is the other guy. I like in that spot there. I think I trust Henry more right now. Like, of all the other guys in this spot, it just feels like I don't know. And I feel like the only reason I'm not taking Henry earlier is because like I feel like the market's tell people, oh, Henry's a second round pick. You got to wait on him. It's a reach. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know if he's a reach. Like, I think you guys are dumb. I don't know. Like that's how I feel.
Kenny, can you blink twice if you're okay? Because you're like renowned hater on Henry. You took him 104. What is happening?
I know. I basically been going through like the first round picks quite a bit in my mind. We kind of talked about this last week. I think you said this, right? Or we've talked about it a couple times, where it's like you can make an argument against pretty much every player in the first round. I think except Jamar Chase. Like Jamar Chase is the only guy where I'm like, I don't have like some argument against.
Mhm.
Well, you're up. Sorry.
Yes, I am up. I like the double running back here. So I'm gonna go with one of these going to be deemed the reach, but I don't care. I'm going to take Bucky Irving, and I'm going to take Devon Achane. Achane healthy now. I published a video earlier today, and the reports are that he is healthy. He's going to play in week 1, so that was good news. He was going late first round before this news, and I got him in a league I did on Sunday at 210. I couldn't believe I got him in 210. That was a PPR league as well. So like I know this is standard, and it's not like he's not as good in standard, but I still want to go double running back. I just like that build more than receiver because I really like the receivers in rounds 5 through 8, whereas like I don't like the running backs of 5 through 8. And then so why not draft the running backs? So I've every time I draft the receivers early, I kind of regret it. I don't know how you feel about that, but that's how I've felt.
Yeah, if I don't get 2 running backs in the first 3 rounds, I almost always hate my team.
Yeah.
Although I think I've got Achane basically ranked as a low second, early third. I just think there's a crew of guys that I would prefer. I think are better than him. So you would just disagree. I would agree on your philosophy. I disagree on the player.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, we all have our different takes here, and I know you like Jake. You're a big fan of Jacobs, and I assume you have Genty ahead of him. I don't know how you feel about Taylor. I'm down on Taylor this year, but I would assume that you have him as well. I just think at 312, I don't think I'm going to get any of the running backs I want there. So I just feel like I have to go double running back.
Oh yeah, to me in that spot, I would have gone. Yeah, to me, Josh Jacobs would be one of the guys I would take there, and I would take Taylor ahead of Achane. Yeah, and I don't feel the need. I don't feel like I have to go double receiver there, double running back there, but because I really love Brian Thomas, who is on the pick right. He's on the board right now for me. So
great value.
Yeah, I love Brian Thomas. I mean, 2.9 is I think it's phenomenal.
Yeah,
I think he's a late first, early second rounder type guy. So I love him at 2.9.
Yeah, it's awesome value. I'm just looking at the board, and I only have like one running back left. I have in the first 3 rounds, actually first 4 rounds. So it is pretty scary not to get a double running back. So Hubbard wasn't one of them, but he's close. He's like upper fifth round for me. But I can understand the run of running backs because like they go so early in this. There you go. There's the last one. I currently have no more running backs in the first 5 rounds. No, I have one. Sorry, I have one at the end of round 5 left. And I'm sure he's going to go in like the 4th round. It's
Right.
just they go so quickly in this compared to best ball. It's
Right.
quite
Right. Right.
staggering. And I guess it's because like in best ball you have to start the receivers, and also there's more variance with receivers, so they're a little bit more valuable. At PPR too. So um we had some questions here. Well, how much do you take Vegas over under in fantasy rankings? JT is the third most rushing yards this year, but isn't a top 6 or 7 back drafted. Well, I feel like that's like the odds are based on what people are going to bet, like not how like necessarily they're going to perform. Like I think people kind of they kind of like don't quite understand that. Like they think just because Vegas thinks something's like they price in something because like people think that's going to happen, whereas like it's just most of the time it's just trying to get split action both ways. And Taylor's a no commodity, so like people are going to bet the over on him. I think this is the year he falls off personally. I just because like this is the worst offensive line he's ever run behind. And so I just really worry about that. And you got AJ Brown at 304. What a steal! Congratulations.
Yeah, AJ Brown is one of the guys I would have considered with Brian Thomas in the mid second. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's insane. He was going late first last year. I know he has hamstring issue, but
Right.
it's not that dire. At least I don't think so. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
In before he misses 5 games, like I think it's great value.
I think it's fantastic value. Yeah. Um. So I mean, I was certainly. I mean, well, I guess we'll have to wait till we take him. But I certainly will have to. I realized something. I was on your site, and I'll have to call you out when the guy goes. I was hoping to draft him in this spot, but we'll wait.
Huh. Okay. I wonder who that is.
It's not that hard.
It's not that hard.
I learned something. I realized something that we've been arguing about Kamara actually, and I realized something that it's actually the issue is not Kamara. It's something totally different.
So is it Kamara that you're gonna when he's drafted you're gonna call me out on?
Yeah, when we get to Kamara, we can talk about it.
Oh, okay. Well, we're kind of on him now, but anyway, so I am up now. Do I want to take this guy? I don't know. Yeah, let's go for it. Okay, I'm gonna take Marvin Harrison Jr. and it's just because all the running backs are gone, the ones that I like. Also going to go with Joe Burrow here and just shore up a top 5 quarterback, which I like that strategy. Either get a top 5 quarterback or wait forever. I think that's the way to go here. So, yeah, like ideally you get Henderson to 312, but he's going higher and higher. It seems. Actually, I haven't done a best ball draft in like 4 days just because I've been so busy, and I've done like 180 something of them, and like really, I don't like the teams on draft. RJ Harvey's the other guy I was talking about. Really, I don't like the teams I'm drafting in best ball now. Like I liked them so much before. Like in June or July, I was getting like for example, I was getting let's say 6th round, I was getting like I guess Travis Hunt. No, 6th round I was getting Traven Henderson. 7th round I was getting Ricky Pearsall. 8th round I was getting Emeka Buka. 9th round I was getting I don't know, Zach Charbonnet. Round 10, I was getting Tyler Warren. No, round 9, I was getting Tyler Warren. Round 10, I was getting Zach Charbonnet. And like now, you have to draft all those guys like super early just to get them. And
Right.
it just I don't know. I'm like these teams suck compared to the ones I was drafting before. Like, why am I even drafting now? So I think the lesson learned is that you should draft earlier, even often next year. So I'm going to do more drafts earlier next year, even though we did have a couple of mishaps and some injuries, but I just feel like the teams that just drafted were just so much better.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as more information comes out and people are getting more in tune with things, everyone has more information, so that helps everyone, and
Yeah.
it makes things a little harder.
Yeah, for sure. You're on the clock now. I'll read some comments as you decide who you draft. There was a Armac asking how much caffeine do you drink, Walt? Actually, only for the most part, I only drink caffeine during the show to like just keep my energy up. Like I'm drinking this Pepsi real sugar can made with real sugar. It's like the only Pepsi drink. I hate the high fructose corn syrup stuff. But I drink that, and like if I'm tired, I'll have like a can of Pepsi. But I usually don't drink any caffeine otherwise. Like I don't like coffee. I don't drink coffee at all. So
Listen,
um,
guys, Walter has been surviving on 90 minutes of sleep ever since 1987.
I'm like Kramer from Seinfeld. Oh, you never watched Seinfeld, right?
No,
Kramer, one of the characters on Seinfeld, like in one of the
I mean, I know who
episodes.
he is. Yeah.
Yeah. He decided that rather than sleeping normally, he would take like 15-minute naps throughout the day. And like obviously didn't end well for him, but that's kind of like me. My wife kind of like pointed that out. She's like, you're like Kramer from Seinfeld, just because like at night I sleep like last night, for example. I went to bed at around 6 a.m. and I woke up today at was it like 15 a.m. So at 4 hours and 15 minutes of sleep. It's kind of hard not to, because like, the stock market's open, just have to just like not miss out on opportunities there. And I can't go to bed earlier because my wife sets alarms like crazy. Like she'll set an alarm at 5 and like she'll hit snooze every 5 minutes. And so if I go to bed like at 3, for example, if I get all my work done and go to bed at 3, I'll wake up 2 hours later with her alarms, and they'll just keep going off, and then I just won't be able to go back to sleep. So it's kind of like the conundrum for me. But I don't know. It's fine. I'm functioning fine, I think. I don't know. That's the reason why I'm crazy. I don't know. But yeah, too funny. If Walt gets over 4 hours of sleep, he doesn't know what to do himself. Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
When I was in Vegas, I slept for like 6.5 hours a night, and I felt so rested. It was crazy. Anyway, what were we talking about? I don't know what we're talking about.
All right. So I guess I'll mention. I mean, I'm going to be drafting here. I'll mention the Camara issue that I noticed on your website. Here's what I realized.
Camara issue. Okay.
Okay, we've argued about Camara at least twice already, and maybe if not more. Okay.
Yeah.
And you and Charlie dogged them. You did a video about. I watched your video this week about the worst picks, and he's the worst pick in the 4th round. And you're going on and on about like Kamara's terrible. He's not going to be in your fantasy playoffs. The team's going to be terrible. I'm the perfect prognosticator of every situation in the NFL ever history. I'm telling you guys, don't draft Kamara. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, wow, Walt's got me. He's really down on Kamara. And so I'm like, I was on your site. I wasn't on your site looking for Kamara. I was just like looking at your rankings. I hadn't checked out, all your rankings yet. So I was going through all your rankings. I'm on your running back rankings, and I look and I see Kamara as your 21st ranked running back. And I was like, well, I have Kamara 17th. That's not far off. Like, wait a minute. I'm like, okay, hold on. I got to draft my guy here because I can't really spell Kenneth Walker in the 5th round. This is excellent value. Oh my gosh. And I'm like, wait, I'm so confused. And then I look at your I don't do projections. We never even talk about I don't think we've ever argued about projections. How I think projections are stupid, but everyone does them. I'm just like, I think projections from projections. That's what I think about. Anyway, I don't use numbers. I just use my gut, and I have a large gut. And so, I'm like, okay. So I looked at your I looked at, you have him as the 21st. Then I looked at your projection, your projections for him, and I'm like, wait a minute. With these projections, Kamara would have been the 19th overall running back in standard leagues in 2024.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm so confused. Wait a minute. You have stats that make him the 19th best running back. You say he's the 21st running back. Over the last 3 years in standard leagues, the 21st running back off the board typically goes off average 46. That's late 4th round.
Well, he's real quick. He was the 17th here, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st. 21st would have been Tracy at 503.
Right. Okay. Right. But I'm saying in your drafting, you have him as the 21st.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like a lot of running backs in the 20s.
I know, but I'm confused. You're like, you said on the show, I went back and listened to it because I couldn't. He's like, I think I'll take him in the 7th. I'm like, wait a minute. historically the 19th to 21st running back goes off the board mid to late fourth round. Like that's the norm in standard leagues. What I'm confused. Is it just that you just devalue all running backs in that range and you're just taking receivers over those guys? And it's not you actually hate Kamara? I'm confused. Like if you have him ranked 21st and you have stats that make him the 19th in 2024 this like value, then he's easily worth a fourth round pick by your prognostication. So I'm just so confused. I don't understand.
That's very interesting. And I think it goes to what I was saying earlier. With hold on, let me just make
like I was expecting you to have like Kamara as like the 42nd running back. That's what I thought. And I'm like, wait a minute, I have him 17th. You have 24th. Like, we're not far off. Wait a minute, we're arguing like we're totally totally separated on this guy.
We're 4 spots apart.
I'm so confused.
Hold on. I will explain myself. I do have a good explanation for this. I really just need to find these guys.
Oh, sorry.
I took Devontae Smith, and where's this guy? I have to type him in. There he is, 117. I'm gonna take Emeka Buka and Devontae Smith. Okay. I think this is going to what I was saying earlier, and just kind of not realizing how these two connected, but they do. Where I said I have to take two running backs in the first 2 rounds here at 112 and 201, because like I don't like anyone at 312 and 401. I don't like anyone who's drafted. I don't like any of the running backs drafted after Henderson, or I guess Harvey. I don't mind Harvey. I'm not even a big Harvey fan. I just think that he has some potential. And I guess more so PPR. So I don't really like him as much in standard. So yeah, I think you can marry the two together, because like that, I guess that is exactly why I want to get two running backs early, because I hate all the running backs after let's just say Henderson. I mean, we talked about Kamara, Harvey. I don't think he's a good prospect. Connor is 30 years old and might split. He even said he's going to split the touches with Benson. Hall is splitting the touches with Braylon Allen, and he might be on the move. Swift is so injury prone. I don't know. I mean, it's a good situation, but very injury prone. Tyron Tracy, not much of a sample size, fumbler. Kenneth Walker might lose touches to Charbonnet. Pacheco, we don't know if he's healthy. And like, there's so many running backs there. Pollard is so injury prone. Like Caleb Johnson, will he have the job? I love Charbonnet, but not at 603. So like, I just don't like any of the running backs at all. So that's, Kamara being at 21 is close to what you have, but like, I'm gonna look at my rankings. I think after Chuba Hubbard at 15, I don't draft any of these guys. I just don't. I just pass on all of them. I just take receivers and quarterbacks and particular tight ends.
So I feel like I've been okay. I mean, there's a guy on the board right now that I just can't believe. I mean, I love him. At the bottom of the 6th round. My goodness, I'm taking James Williams here. I love him in this spot. I absolutely love. This is the best team I've drafted any mock so far. Like, oh my gosh, I love this team. I realize it. So I mean, I'm on the site. I consume lots of the content on the site on a regular basis. So I'm like, I'm just going on. I actually started I was just checking, we've from the because I manage the hosting side of things, I was just checking the speed of the website, just making sure pages are loading properly and fast. And then I'm on your running back page and I'm reading. I'm like, what? Kamara's 21. I was so shocked. I was like, I gotta call him out with this. What is this? And I realized, I feel like I've been arguing with you about Kamara, and actually the issue isn't even Kamara as much as, even though kind of. The issue is you just have this huge gap between the running backs. You have this big drop off. So you're pushing all of those running backs down. And I was like, okay, so that kind of makes more sense to me. And it feels less like Kamara hate and just more kind of a general disgust with all of the running backs after a certain point.
General disgust, sir. Yeah, I don't like any of these running backs at all. I think there's I was talking about like bear cases in round 1. Like these are like colossal bear cases. I don't like them. I really don't. So that's why I want to get the running backs early. And I love the receivers in this range. Like, you talk about like Pearsall, Travis Hunter, Rashee Rice, Devontae Smith, like Tyreek Hill in the 5th round is good value. Emeka Ibuka, Debo Samuel, you thought Jameson Williams 6th round is good value because usually goes 4th. Like, these are all like really great values. And so that's like to me, it's so simple. Like the running backs early are so much better, like, compared to the mid round running backs and the mid round receivers. While like there are some awesome guys at the top, like you got Brian Thomas Jr. at 2 and 9, which is awesome. But like I just think that like the value with the round 5 to 8 receivers is so high that you could just take them and avoid the early guys and just take the early running backs, assuming that you don't pass on like amazing value or anything. So even if you get like great value, it's like so hard to just like just like have these like draft these crap receivers. I don't know.
I think that totally changed my. I'm like, okay, and I'm just like, oh, I literally almost fell out of my chair, and I was like, 21. Why is this guy? What are we arguing about? 4 spots? Like 4 spots is nothing. Like
right.
Anyway,
it makes sense. So
I think I think it kind of just it helped frame where I'm just in. I'm looking historically. The 19th to 21st best running back is almost always finishes in the top 48 in VBD. I was just looking at VBD purposes, which is not always the best way to look at things, but is one metric I use. If people are not familiar with the classic kind of Joe Bryant VBD structure, a lot of people draft using VBD, which I don't think is always makes the most sense. But I think retroactively looking back on a season to evaluate how players did, I think VBD is an excellent tool. So anyway, yeah, the RB19 last year was 46 in VBD overall in typical ESPN scoring. So anyway, yeah, but I get it. I get the saying, hey, these guys are just all gross, and I'd rather pivot to a different position.
Yeah. I feel like I have to. I talked about why I don't like those guys. Now you get to a spot where you could take on more risk in round 7 and 8, but round 4, 5, 6, if you take 2 running backs there and you miss on both of them because like really they're like worse prospects than usual, then you're kind of like in a hole. But if you miss on a running back around 7 or 8, it's not the end of the world, especially if you hit on your receivers in that round 4 to 6 range. So yeah, it's funny that after all we're not too far off on Kamara. But yeah, it's just like I have those top guys just way ahead of the round 4 to 8 running backs. So
this is where auction leagues become like so much more valuable, or so much more like accurate assessment, because you'd have you just have much more of a spectrum of what people would pay for, and so you would have just a big gap in what you're willing to pay for players.
Right.
Where when it comes to linear drafting, like you have to pick someone when your turn comes. So the space between your picks is 1 round. Like there's not, you can't do like you can in an auction league, which is why I think auction leagues are superior.
I've never done an auction league.
Oh my God.
I've done like a mock auction. I've done mock auctions, but I've never done like a real auction league. And like I've always wanted to do one. It's not that I'm anti auction leagues. I think they're great. I've never been in an auction league.
How about next Wednesday at 7 p.m. before our show next week, we do an auction league draft?
For real? Or
if anyone wants to be in an auction league, I'll commission. I'll start it. Draft is next Wednesday at 7 p.m. If anyone wants to be in it, put it in the comments.
I think my wife would throw me out of the house because I have to get the kids ready for bed. Oh. But so hold on.
We could do the draft all live on the show.
Yeah, I mean, how long do they take though? They take a while.
They take a long. They take like a little longer.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna take some of these now that we can just take on more risk. Going to take a couple of our running backs. We got Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. Now he wants to be called Bill, so Ja'Cory Krosky Bill and Tank Bigsby. Krosky Merritt, like I feel like people automatically assume that he's not going to get the goal line work just because the coach said so. But they played Chris Rodriguez in the finale, the preseason finale, and they did not play Krosky Merritt. So I took that as like a very bullish indicator. They got rid of Robinson, and then Bigsby, your guy. So I don't know if I stole one of your picks here, but it looks like ATN is going to be traded. It's been reported that the Jaguars are shopping ATN. So I expect Bigsby and Tootin to be the 2 backs in Jacksonville this year.
Even if they don't trade ATN, I expect Bigsby and Tootin to be the guys.
Yeah, fair enough. I think if they trade, it wouldn't surprise me at all if they if they traded ATN and then acquired like Rashad White, because like Bigsby's not a receiving back, and the Rashad White is, and Rashad White played from Liam Cohen in Tampa, so they have that sort of connection. So like, if Tootin's not very good, then they can go after him. I probably should have gone to Braylon Allen. I think yeah, I put Braylon Allen in. I'm going like on my round tiers page. I probably should have Braylon Allen in right next to Bigsby, just as a reminder. So when we do our draft on Sunday, the league we've been in forever together, I probably should have that. Like, probably should have those two players together. I think I would. I don't know. It's hard to say if I like Allen more than Bigsby. It's very close. And you're up.
Am I up right now? I thought, I in the last, I thought one of these running backs would fall to me, either Warren or JCM or Bigsby or Dobbins. I thought for sure one of those four guys would fall. I was wrong, and so now I regret. I should have taken one of those guys in the 7th round and waited, because there are several receivers here I like as much as DJ Moore, and so bummer that I missed out on those guys. Yeah, because this is where I find a huge drop off in the quality of running back after those guys, after the guys that just went. Without looking at the falling knife.
I don't think he's. I tweeted this out today. I don't think he's playing this year. From what I've heard, I listened to some stuff and kind of some good arguments made. It's like, I don't know if he's going to play this year, unfortunately.
Yeah. There's no running back or tight end here that's worthy in my mind. Yeah. So I'm just going to take my favorite tight receiver here, and I only got 3 running backs, and I'm not loving that.
Yeah.
I'll take my favorite receiver here, and did the pick go through?
I don't see it. Let's try again, I guess.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Khalil Shakir. It's your favorite.
Yeah, I like Shakir in the 8th round. But yeah, man, this is a big bummer on the quality of running back here. In round 9, I feel compelled now to try to go running back.
It gets pretty bleak. I've learned from drafting so many times that you guys running backs just fly off the board like crazy. So you have to get your running backs. And if like Travion Henderson was there at 312, I would have started triple running back. But you guys are too smart to let that happen. So where do you hear that, Walt? It wasn't like, this is not news. I'm not breaking news here. I just like from medical experts I listened to, what they've said about him, like they speculated that there's like rotting like flesh under his skin. Like he had a team unapproved surgeries and stuff, and they think that he's gonna be out for a very long time. Like that's not me. That's not my news. That's not Charlie's info. That's just me hearing doctors talk, and that's the conclusion I came to. But I don't know. I could be wrong, completely wrong. But he has been he's out for 4 weeks already. We know that. That's automatic. So, Kenny, you're up again. I would have taken Robinson had he fallen to me at 9-12. Unfortunately, I don't get Garendo's parents replacement. So, not quite sure what's going on there. But
I am. So this is the moment. It's like, yeah, none of these running backs are good. Yeah, so I'm just going to, I get, this is terrible. And so I was loving my running backs. Yeah, if I could go back and do it over again, the DJ Moore pick is the spot where, man, there are 4 guys that went off in the next few picks. I'm lamenting that. So now I'm just looking at all the running. I feel like I'm reaching for any of these running backs here. Any tight end or quarterback I want is still going to be there in the next round. So yeah, I think I'm going to have to just reach here for a running back. That I don't love. So what's his ADP? His ADP on here is 104. Yuck.
It's okay. I mean, there's no great pick here. So
yeah. So I'll just take him here just to talk about him a little bit. Javonte Williams. I mean, this is too early for him. This is not really a good use of the pick. But if I could do this over again, I would instead of DJ Moore, I'd take a running back there, and then still come back with Shakir would be fine, or Michael Pittman, who went right after that. And then here in the 9th round is where I would be targeting Thornton in the 9th round. I would much rather be taking Dante Thornton in this spot, but I felt compelled to take a running back here. Mostly because I'm looking at I've read some scouting reports. I don't watch college football, as many of you guys know. I retired in 2010 from college football. Although if Penn State goes to the national title game, I'll come out of retirement.
All right. Well, okay. Well, glad you're going to be at retirement, but congratulations on your retirement. It's nice.
The scouting reports, the guys that I trust the most, there's the guy I trust the most is Matt Waldman. Matt Waldman is just him and Charlie Campbell are the best as year up. But their view of Jaden Blue is that he is very raw. He's incredibly fast, but they think he's going to have a hard. Waldman and some other guys I listen to feel like he's going to have a hard. Brett Coleman's another guy I follow on YouTube. Even Charlie Campbell made some comments. I anticipate Jaden Blue having a really tough transition to the NFL. So, and I've been pretty much a Miles Sanders hater for his entire career. So, I think for me, it's like, well, maybe Javonte Williams by default gets some carries. I don't know. Once upon a time, I thought Javonte Williams was a really good player.
He was before he tore his ACL, and then he just wasn't after that. It's kind of crazy that, a lot of players just come back from their ACLs so easily. Adrian Peterson had 2,000 rushing yards right after his torn ACL. It's insane. But no, I mean, Williams, those first 4 games he had in his career before the torn ACL, he was so good, and then it just completely fell off a cliff. Jaden Blue just went. I would have considered Blue. It was between Ollie Gordon and Jaden Blue at 10-1 for me. I'm higher on Blue. I know that that there might be some transitional issues, but he's so explosive. I could see maybe like a limited Devon Achane role where he just has not as many touches as most running backs, but he does more with them. Like kind of like a Keaton Mitchell too. Like Keaton Mitchell is pretty undersized, but he's so explosive and he could do a lot with fewer touches. So I think that could be kind of like Jaden Blue style here. So
yeah, when I hear Jaden Blue described, and Bayshaw Tootin, whatever the Tootin guy from Jacksonville, when I hear them described, I get Tevin Coleman, Miles Sanders vibes. The way those guys are described, I'm like, that guy's never been good. like that guy's never been. It's Clyde Edward-Helaire is in the same category. There's just a group of guys that are just like the way they're described. You're just like, dude, those guys don't ever translate to the NFL. I want no part of that.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm up right now. I'm in the 10th round. There's some quarterbacks here I like. There's some tight ends here I like, but not enough to draft them. And so let's push that a little more. The guy who actually is the best player available is probably going to just go several more rounds later. So I just feel like I don't feel obligated to take him here, which is kind of like I got to take someone, right?
Yeah.
So
I guess you don't have to take anyone.
No.
You like the Vikings and passing your pick. With Chubb or Marks or Pierce. I think Woody Marks has the most upside. I guess I would go with him. You can get him much later, but I'm not super excited about this situation. Remember, Houston's offensive line ranks very lowly. Fantasy Football or Pro Football Focus had him at number 32, which I kind of disagree with. I don't think they're that bad, but they are bad blocking wise. So not excited. You have 10 seconds, so. I'm just gonna take another running back here that I don't like. That's 2 rounds too early, but I'll take Stevens here as my 5th running back. In part, it's part of my I'm not as confident as Henderson. Everyone else, I have Henderson I take him in the 6th round,
But the fact that he's like all of a sudden going in the third, I'm like, okay, that's not for me. Uh, so, um, yeah, that's my thought. I think, yeah, I read the, the guys that actually watch the games, and read their scouting reports, and it's just not, it's not good. So, everyone's like, he's a great pass protector. Like that's the thing, but maybe I'm wrong. Obviously people are sometimes wrong, and sometimes rookie running backs are great. So I'm
Yeah, I love Henderson. I think he's so awesome. I think he's gonna be I think potential league winner. I bet him to win rookie of the year. I forget what odds I got him at, but they were I think 22-1. I think. Yeah, I think he has a great chance. So is Hampton, and I bet Hampton, Ibuka, Henderson, and Thornton to win Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year. So hopefully one of those hits. Like they're all great odds. I got Dante Thornton at 200-1. So hopefully that comes through. Um,
nice.
to the moon, about to time out here. With some questions here. Nick asking 10-man. I think this is PPR. Josh Allen, Bajan, Chuba, Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason, Algier, AJ Brown, Higgins, JMO, Debo, Cup, Kirk, Ayuk, Hawkinson. You can cut Cup pretty safely. You can cut Ayuk unless you have an IR spot. And otherwise, I think that looks pretty good. Cooper Cup's a wasted pick. Like he's his career's over. And with Ayuk, he's not going to play till November. But yeah, if you have an IR spot, you might as well just stash Ayuk on it. But I'm not expecting much from him at all this year. But yeah, just no reason to have Cup. And we had why are you so low on Tedero McMillan? Well, I think he was overdrafted. First of all, he was overdrafted. The only reason why he went top 10 is because the owner, heard he was good, and so he drafted him in the top 10 to justify the Bryce Young pick, because he's like Axe Tepper, the owner, is like so embarrassed by the Bryce Young pick, because like all the coaches wanted Stroud, and as soon as they made that trade, I got a text from a source there, and like the coach like is a coach, and he's like we're excited to take Stroud. And then a few days later, you're up, by the way. A few days later, he's like, "Oh, we're taking Young because the owner said we're taking Young." So all the coaches wanted Stroud. They all thought they're going to get Stroud, so they got Young. So the owner stepped in and took McMillan himself, or like the rest of the coaching staff. They wanted the edge rusher instead, Jalen Walker. So they took McMillan. So first of all, McMillan is not a top 10 prospect. Second, McMillan said in an interview that he does not like football. Like, and hearing that is just like, okay, so you're just in it for the money. So I don't know. Maybe he still does well, but I don't think he's this top 10 prospect that everyone's like clamoring him to be. Like if he was in the last draft, like he would have gone after Brian Thomas Jr., who went 17. Like he's not an elite prospect by any means. So I think Ibuka is a better prospect than him. I think McMillan has more athleticism, but Ibuka is just I feel like a far better player. So. I think McMillan should have gone like in the teens or the 20s personally, but the Panthers reached for him just because Axe Tepper heard of his name and wanted him. So just kind of like erase that from your head that he's a top 10 pick, because he's not. If the Panthers passed on him, he would have fell to maybe, I don't know, Dallas to 12. I don't know if they would have taken him, but if Dallas didn't take him, like he would have fallen to the teens like easily. So you took Kincaid. So what's up with that?
I just think I think there's a gap between him and the rest of the tight ends. I thought Kraft would have lasted there. Kraft I have there, but I like Kincaid. I think there's a tier drop there for between Kincaid and the rest of the guys.
I could buy Kincaid. I worry a little bit about his knee issue, but because he's wearing a sleeve on it earlier, but it could be okay. And yeah, I thought Kraft was going to fall to me too. Unfortunately, he did not.
Yeah. Where did Tyler Warren go? I don't see him on the board.
He went much earlier. He went.
Oh, there he's 6'8". Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I really wanted Warren. He's my tight end 4. Okay, so I'm up right now, and what am I doing here? You guys like took all my players. What is going on here? I have not taken a tight end yet, by the way. So
I
I
can't
won.
believe I took a tight end in round 11 before you.
I took well. We usually like play chicken as far as like who's gonna take the last tight end. Um, that's been like my experience with you in our leagues that we've done so many of over the years. Anyway, so I have to kind of decide here what I want to do. And is this guy available? I don't see him. Is Shahid all gone? Shahid's gone. Okay, whatever. I'll take um I'll take Keandre Lambert Smith, kind of a reach there in the 11th round, but it's okay. And then running, I'll go with another running back here, and I am going to go with. Let's see, gonna go Sean Tucker. Um, I think if Irving is hurt, I think Sean Tucker is going to take over. I think Rashad White's probably going to get traded anyway. And then Lambert Smith. I've said this a million times, but when he caught the touchdown, Herbert went over to him. He's like, "There's more coming," and I really liked him as a prospect coming to the NFL. I thought he was going to go much higher than the 5th round, and from like all accounts, he's outplayed Trey Harris, like the other Charger receiver there. So, I think he's kind of an interesting player, but anyway, I'm sure. I kind of got lost. I forgot to delete some of the players I liked, so it's kind of like lost in like what I needed to do. So, why would you trade Kenneth Walker and DK for Bucky? Yes, 100%. He needs a receiver bad. Yeah. I definitely would, because Walker is a walking injury, and Metcalf is. I don't know what he's going to do with Rodgers in Pittsburgh. So yes, I definitely
Walker and DK Metcalf for Bucky Irving.
Yes. Both these guys, I think they both went 5th round in this draft, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. I know you got Walker 504. Where'd Metcalf go? Metcalf went 611. So you're trading 504 and 611 for 112. I'd do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I think those guys should have gone earlier, I guess. But yeah, I'd probably still do it. Yeah. I would not be as bullish as you are, but I would still do it.
Okay. Hey, well, Kenny, thoughts on Jaden Reed? I'm a fan of Golden as well, but I've been taking Reed if I can't get Golden. Well, Reed, I think, is better in best ball because he has spike weeks, but he doesn't play in 2 receiver formations, so he's less consistent. So that's kind of like why I would hesitate to draft him. Like, I think Golden should go way before Reed. But if you get like Golden in this draft when 709, I would have taken him 712. So kind of got sniped there by Armac. Yeah, so I think that's the right range for Golden. And where did Reed go in this draft? Was he even drafted yet? He went 907. Okay. I'd probably take Reed in like the 10th round, so maybe like a little bit earlier than he should have. You're up on the clock, by the way. Yeah.
One of the guys I trust a lot is Chris Raybon. He has a YouTube channel and a podcast. He's kind of, I don't know how well known he is, but I like his stuff. He's a big fan of Golden. He's like he really thinks that Golden was a great prospect, and he likes the situation. He expects the Packers to take either. There's a couple of nuances and with the Packers offense that he kind of is kind of expecting to get better, and so he thinks that Golden could be a really consistent contributor pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So that's one person. The other guys I listen to about rookie receivers kind of are just sort of seem so on Golden. So it's hard to. For me, if I just can't help but wonder, does Golden just become another? They got like no wide receiver 1 and 5 wide receiver 2s. Like, does he just become another one of their wide receiver 2s, and they just kind of keep rotating between a bunch of guys? I suspect that's possible.
Yeah, I mean, Golden brings something that they don't have as a deep threat. Like, I mean, obviously Christian Watson, but he's out with the 20 CL. So, like that's like the only deep threat they have on that team, and so. If he's good or not, like he's going to be in the field, like doing stuff. So, and he caught that long pass from Malik Willis in the preseason. Not that means all that much, but it's still encouraging to see. So I don't know. I like him. Like the negative about him in college is that like his production wasn't very, very high. like up until like the end of last year. Like in the end of last year, he was going nuts in the playoffs and stuff like that, and the end of the regular season. But otherwise, he just like underperformed. So we kind of like have to wonder like where was this production? Like why wasn't he producing?
Yeah.
But look, I mean, he wouldn't be the first one to lack production in college and then go off in the NFL. So,
Right.
So you finally take your quarterback, Justin Herbert, and you took Burden. So you want to talk about those two picks?
Yeah, Burden, Matt Waldman, who I think is one of the best guys in the business in terms of scouting guys and their translation to fantasy football. And he said Burden's the best receiver in this draft class by a significant margin, and he expects them to be immediate producer there. And so yeah, the talk of Olamide Zaccheaus being ahead of him is just total nonsense. But I think it's great because it's kept Burden's draft stock down. Right, if Burden was great in the preseason, he'd be going in round 7. The fact that he's not is a great value. Burden is a fantastic pick. So yeah, I get to round 12 and it's like almost automatic for me. I'm getting Burden every time. He's excellent, and if this offense takes a huge step forward, which I still don't know if Caleb Williams is good at football, but if he is, Caleb Williams just went. Speaking of the devil, if he's good at football and he takes the next step, then this offense should be really good, right? If we like the head coach, we like the skill sets, we like the improvements they've made, then there should be a step forward here, and Burden should be the second, should get significant targets, maybe the second most, maybe the third most behind Moore and Loveland. It's sort of the thought, or maybe more. Maybe Burden is the number 1 receiver, or maybe kind of a 1A, 1B with the rookies, the rookie tight end, rookie receiver. So, yeah, I'm snatching them up on every pick. And then Justin Herbert, I don't understand why Justin Herbert's going so late in drafts. He's going very late, and I don't understand it. He's going in 15th, 16th round sometimes. He's gone undrafted in some of the mocks I've seen. I don't get that at all. This guy, on a talent level, he's top 7, maybe top 6. I like the situation. I think they're going to be better. Yeah, I think he's easily a top 8 fantasy quarterback this year. And if this offense is really good, then like he could be a top 5, top 4 type guy. Like him going in 13th round is sort of silly because he's clearly better than 6 of the guys that have gone before him on this draft, if not 7 or 8. Like obviously, objectively, blatantly, by a significant margin. So I don't get that at all.
Better in real life or fantasy or both?
Both. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I think the negativity with Herbert is that he's in a run first offense, and so I think that's why people are hesitant to draft him. However,
he threw for 4,000 yards last year, didn't he? Like
yeah, I was about to say. However, that this Charger team is going to have an awful defense, and so I think they're going to engage in more shootouts this year. They're going to be throwing a lot more in the second half. And they added some more weaponry. Now you can argue with how good is that weaponry because Keenan Allen's like 1,000,000 years old. The 2 rookies haven't been at least Trey Harris hasn't been that great. Lambert Smith has been better than people expected. But no, I do like Herbert. I've been drafting like quite a bit in best ball, where he's going like around 12 or so in best ball. So it's kind of interesting that he's going earlier there. But no, I agree. I think Herbert's going too late.
I mean, I'm not writing an article. I'm thinking about. I've been doing some research for this for an article. The idea that you're in shootouts and you're behind more actually doesn't translate to fantasy value most of the time. And so that is coming. I'm trying to get it published, but like last year he threw for 3,870 yards, and he threw for 23 touchdowns. Like, okay, that's like. That's an off year. Like, I don't like that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense. Him being going to 13 doesn't make sense. Like,
well, to be fair, the only year he's been with Harbaugh, like he wants to run nonstop, it was, I don't know. I'm interested to see this article because the problem with Herbert last year was that the Chargers played so many easy games, and so they're just way ahead in the second half, and so he just had to throw that much. I don't know. I mean, yeah, like I said, I want to see your article because I was talking to Kelly yesterday, who was on the show, and Isaac Tesla. I was thinking about him. I wanted to draft Franklin for RMAC. This is a shout out to RMAC. I would have taken Tesla otherwise because what's his name? Tim Patrick got traded today. But no, Kelly was on yesterday, and she won our league, the one that she runs, that I'm in. She won last year, and I'm like, who do you have in the championship? She's like, Brock Purdy was my quarterback, and that was the week 17 where the Niners fell behind the Lions on the Monday night game, and like Purdy just went nuts in the second half, and so like that's why she won her league, because like Purdy just had his best game of the year, and it's because he felt the Niners fell behind, and so he had to throw a lot. So I don't know. I'd like to see that article. I'm kind of eager to.
The idea that like minutes behind in a game translates to more fantasy points, like that doesn't actually I hear this all the time. This is a very, very common thing. Oh, they're going to be behind a lot, going to be throwing. He's going to throw for more yards. Like I hear that. Every draft season, I hear that 70 times. I mean, every podcast, every show. And if that was the case, then we would be the worst quarterbacks. The teams with the worst quarterbacks, or the worst teams in the NFL, would all be drafted. Why is it that the quarterbacks that we draft early in fantasy drafts typically are guys that their teams are winning a lot?
Well, I don't think you should like include the worst quarterbacks in that study, because like, yeah, like the teams the teams that have like the worst quarterbacks are going to be behind, and those quarterbacks are not going to do anything because they suck. Like, I'm more interested to hear a study where you look at good quarterbacks in years where they were ahead versus years they were behind. Like compare the same quarterbacks in different situations. I think that's the way to do that study. Like don't look at the worst players in the league. Like that's because we're not going to draft them anyway.
Yeah, I just the idea that they're going to be behind a lot. Well, I know, and we also don't know if they're going to be behind a lot, because you know what? Lots of teams surprise us because we're wrong 40 to 50% of the time.
Well, we can make educated guesses. You're up, by the way.
Make educated guesses, but you're also wrong 40 to 50% of the time. That's a pretty high percentage.
If you're right 60% of the time, it's not like too bad. I don't know, and it really depends. Like I think we know Cincinnati's defense is gonna be awful this year. Like it would be shocking. It would be shocking. Like,
it would be shocking, but shocking things have happened.
Sure, but like, what percentage chance would you? So, like with your argument, you were like, okay, you can't predict anything. Let's just draft random players.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying we got to be careful that we have to like just acknowledge like we could be wrong, and so we have to be. I think there's a lack of humility in the fantasy. And with all due respect, Walt, I think you're guilty of it. Like I think sometimes we in the fantasy community we overvalue our ability to guesstimate what's going to happen, and I think sometimes it's valuable to go, you know what, I could be wrong, and so let's hedge a little bit. Like I think let's consider that. What if Cincinnati all of a sudden has some players that turn it around on defense and they become like a middle of the pack? Maybe I don't. It's in the realm of possibility. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but you're kind of weighing like what you think is going to happen. Like I would give it like it's not nothing is a guarantee, but
right.
I would say 90% chance that the Bengals have a bottom 10 defense this year.
Maybe you might be right.
And like, so you're going to hedge them at 10%. Like, why do it? Like, I think you need to
be
all in,
No, I don't. I that's not how I draft. That's not like one of the reasons why I think one of my advantages in fantasy. I was saying this by text you today, is that I don't assume I know. I just draft who's the best player, and I don't worry about the situations and I don't predict those. And most of the time, that's the reason why I've been really good at fantasy football over the years. I kind of I have a different approach. I'm not saying my approach is right all the time. In fact, it's the opposite. I'm wrong 40% of the time, 50% of the time. But I think I'm willing to just take shots on guys where everyone's like, this guy's definitely going to suck. I'm like, well, I'll take my chance. I'll take a chance with him.
Well, I mean, I don't know how you draft differently with the Bengals, like knowing that, but like if you're 90% sure that the Bengals defense is going to suck this year, you shouldn't take like a 50-50 stance on it. I don't know if that's what you're saying, but
no, I'm just in general, like overall, we are way too confident in the fantasy community when we talk about, we know for sure this is going to happen. I'm like, well, you don't actually know that. And there is some percentage chance that you're wrong. So I think it's a disservice to people to sell them, oh, we know for sure the Chargers are going to be behind, so they're definitely going to throw. Like, I don't know that for sure.
Well,
I don't think anyone knows for sure.
there's a really good chance they are because they
Maybe,
have a tougher schedule and they lost a bunch of players. Like
maybe, but
logic
maybe,
dictates they should have a worse defense than they did last year.
yeah, but maybe not. But maybe there's some guys on their team that we don't know about that know that
Yeah.
maybe Hardball's a really good coach, and like I just like yeah, maybe you might be right, but maybe not. Um, so I don't know. I have a tough time like just going all in on those sort of comments. That's it. That's my we know for sure. This like, I'm like, well, I don't know for sure. We're projecting, and you're right. We have to project to some extent.
Yeah.
And some guys are better at projecting. You are better at projecting than most people, which is why you've been good at sports betting. Like it's why you've built a great a following and worth and deserving it. I'm not as good at projecting, I think. And so I go, well, what are all the possibilities? And let me try to draft accordingly. I guess that's my thought.
Yeah, I mean, it would really have to be like the situation. Well, I don't know, like what we're talking about. It depends. Like it has to be like a case by case basis for me
Sure.
to kind of like determine like what we're talking about exactly. But um, like with the Chargers case, like yeah, sure, like there could be guys we don't know about. That's 100% true. But on the other hand, if you look at like the players they lost and the tougher schedule, like all indicators suggest that the defense is gonna be a lot worse this year. So that's how I would draft. But like you said, it could not be the case. So that
Yeah,
is
I
not
mean, I think
that's not something I'm 90-10 on. That's something I'm like 70-30 on.
yeah, I mean 70-30. I mean the 30% is a pretty substantial. I remember Nate Silver gave Donald Trump a 28% chance to win in 2016, and
Well, that's
so
Nate Silver.
what was that?
That's Nate Silver. That's not.
Yeah.
That's not. Talk about him as some expert.
I mean, everyone else gave Trump like a 1% or less, so he gave him a 28.5%.
Yeah. New York Times gave Hillary 99%. Yeah.
So that was the best odds that anyone gave him in 2016.
Wait, that's not true. My dad gave him 100%.
No. Forgot.
I'm serious. My dad was like, he's like, Trump's winning. like, are you sure? He's like, yes, he's winning. Like, okay. He was right. So actually, my dad called Trump as being president like back in 2006. Like, I'm serious. Like he like a long, like I was still in college. He's like Donald Trump's gonna be president. I'm like, yeah, whatever. He was totally right about that.
Just for funsies, I took the Chargers defense here.
Nice. I took the other.
There's a 30% chance they won't suck, according to Walter Football.
Well, there you go. MLB players who hit 300 are pretty good, right? So
like, yeah, I just get annoyed with fantasy experts who just are so convinced that something's gonna happen. I'm just like, I don't know. Like maybe like you might be right, but like there's a possibility.
Yeah. The New York Times bankrupt after that take. Well, one would only hope. That would take out the Athletic, which would like loosen some competition for us. Not that I don't want people to lose their jobs, but still. Would you take Christian Watson if you had an IR spot with your last pick? No, I don't think he's playing this year. He tore his ACL so late in the season, and like even if he comes back, like what's he gonna do?
Yeah,
like
I don't. If he was fully healthy, I don't think I'd want to take him in the last round.
Yeah,
I think he sucks. So that's
wait, hold on. Christian Watson's dad might be listening, so just be careful.
Did Brandon Ayuk go in this draft?
Yes, at 1306.
I missed that. Okay, 1306. Okay, never mind. Brandon Ayuk is the guy I've been thinking that if I had a league with the IR spot, he's the guy I'd want to go after late in the draft.
Yeah.
But if I don't have an IR spot, I don't want to waste it. Like I don't want a guy who's not going to play for at least the first month of the season, if not more.
Yeah, I hear you. Are you downloading WhatsApp after this? Well, we didn't get any positive stuff in the comment section, guys. I asked you guys if you would join the WhatsApp group for the After Dark show, and no one said yes. So, I mean, like, unless you guys have changed your mind, I don't anticipate downloading it. But I will explore that. Like at least Kenny has at least put that thought in my head of maybe downloading it. So I'll increase their okay, Brian Celesta. I'll increase the valuation from 17,000 to maybe 52,000 right now. So still a blatant overpay. Would you say Zuckerberg bought it? you say that?
Zuckerberg owns it. He bought it for $19 billion a couple years ago.
The guy does not know how to evaluate things. Let's we should schedule a meeting and talk and be like, hey Zuck, you should have only paid 50 grand for this WhatsApp, not
And apparently, yeah, I think he says it was just there's a piece of technology. There was one particular, there was a string of code that they owned that he wanted, and he didn't really care about the company.
he needs. Well, I said this last week. He just hire better programmers, or maybe just do it on ChatGPT. They can. ChatGPT does great things. I've done a lot of all my thumbnails on YouTube are ChatGPT. I just tell it like, hey, do this,
Uh,
do this, and like
he
sometimes it screws up, but like they figure it out. So if ChatGPT can make these great thumbnails, they could make the WhatsApp app code.
apparently, Snapchat. We can talk about this. Snapchat had the same technology, and he offered to buy Snapchat for $1 billion, and they said no. And then he went to WhatsApp and it was like, okay, but WhatsApp was actually making money, and so like they actually had a real evaluation. So
Yeah.
WhatsApp is profitable. So at 19 billion, he's getting money on his return. Where with Snapchat, Snapchat was losing money still.
Who still uses Snapchat?
It's making a comeback with the kids.
I remember when I dated my the girl from Colorado, Emily. She was using Snapchat and to like talk to her friends. I'm like, why are you using this app? She's like, I don't know. My friends like it, and I'm like, I was thinking like that's gonna be obsolete in like 5 years. Like somehow it's still around. Like I don't know. I feel like these things come and go, but that's I don't know. I'm shocked. Snapchat's still around.
They apparently they countered for 3 billion.
Wow.
And Zuckerberg was like, no, I don't want it for 3 billion. I'd rather spend 19 billion on WhatsApp.
It's so hard to turn down $1 billion. You're just that's so much money. It's insane. Walt, you're just a boomer. Maybe, I don't know. I look. I mean, I don't know. I don't like social media stuff. I'm not on Instagram. I have an Instagram account. I haven't logged in 3 years. Actually, I logged in like once. I logged in like a few weeks ago, just to see something, because someone sent me something. But other than that, I haven't logged into Instagram in 3 years. I don't get Instagram. I just like, isn't this just like fancy Facebook? But I don't know. That's just me. Anyway, in a 10-team PPR, what's your favorite running back round 2 pick from the 109? I would say Bucky Irving or Chase Brown, one of them. PPR, Chase Brown's better in PPR, so I guess him. Or HN. It could be like one of those three. I love all three of those guys. I don't know what you think. I know you're not a PPR guy, which
Yeah,
I find funny because like Mike Lucine, who does content on this, he's sometimes like, he's like, yeah, let's talk about PPR because this is not 1995 here and everyone draws PPR. Every time I hear that, I'm like, Kenny hates PPR so much.
it's just a bad representation of real football. It just sucks. But I also, this is a whole nother thing. I think we grossly overvalue the difference between PPR and non PPR. Like because PPR lifts everybody up, so it's like, and so when you actually look at the final stats of PPR versus non PPR, like the list of like the final, it's almost identical at the end of the season. Like there's only a few players where it makes a real big difference. It's just always funny. I'm like, we make this big like, oh, PPR is like, it's the same. Like there's like 3 guys that matter. Like
yeah, it's pretty close.
And so I just don't think if Josh Jacobs is there, I'm rating him above those guys. I'd like Jonathan Taylor. I like Kyrie Williams, and then Chase Brown and Bucky Irving. But I trust. Josh Jacobs and Jonathan Taylor to me. Jonathan Taylor was the number 1 running back in all formats the last 7 weeks of the season last year. I don't think people realize like how strong he was at the end of the year, and like the Colts sucked. Like and so like if we're like, oh, they're gonna suck. Yeah, they sucked last year, and you know what? He was still awesome, and I actually think Daniel Jones might be an upgrade. I can't believe I said that out loud. But like he's an upgrade over what they had at quarterback slot at the end of last year. So yeah, I actually think like, yeah, that's another thing people say that like, oh, the situation is going to suck. I'm like, well, he sucked last year, and he was the number 1 running back for 7 weeks in a row. Like, I don't know. How do we ignore that? I just think it's odd.
Well, first of all, he had that horrible showing in the and I sorry I have to pull this hat out, the the Battle of the Horses. It was a horrible result in the Battle of the Horses. So I think I might have
What
that
is going on?
Battle of the Horses was a horrible showing from Jonathan Taylor, who dropped the ball against the Broncos short of the goal line. Sorry, Tom, I know you're listening. We lost a lot of money in the Battle of Horses. Things I've been saying around these parts since the Battle of Horses. Then with Taylor, he lost his center, he lost his right guard, and his right tackle is Braden Smith. Unfortunately, he had some mental disorder things in the offseason, and he's dealing with an injury. So I don't know what's going on with him. So this could be the worst offensive line Taylor's ever run behind. So that's kind of like why I worry about him. And also he's been hurt like every year. So I worry about that too. So like those are the downsides with Taylor. That's kind of like why I have those other guys ahead of him. But I'm not like if I'm on an auto draft and I get Taylor in the second round, I'm not like upset about it. I'd rather have Irving, I'd rather have Chase Brown, or rather have HN, I'd rather have Jacobs. And so that's kind of where I rank him.
I don't understand the HN love. I guess I just have him such behind those guys. Like
he's so explosive. Like remember 2 years ago, he was ripping off like 80-yard runs every time. And then last year he wasn't because the interior blocking was so bad. But he caught like 80 passes. And so if you like converge the two, because they added 2 interior linemen this offseason, including James Daniels, one of the best guards in the NFL. They added him, and they added a second round rookie. So like if that second round rookie pans out, like their blocking is going to be so much better in the interior. So like HN could go back to getting those explosive runs for running, and he could continue catching the passes because, well, first of all, like the pass blocking sucks. Like their tackle play is just awful. So there's gonna be no protection from Tua. So he's got to dump the ball off. Plus, teams play cover 2 shell against the Dolphins all the time, and Mike McDaniel's just too stupid to figure out how to beat it. And so he has to dump the ball off the HN all the time. Tua does, and then like Jonnu Smith's gone, and so like Jonnu Smith was the safety valve, and so I feel like HN is gonna like siphon some of the production that Jonnu Smith was getting last year too. So like I feel like HN could have like 80 receptions this year if he stays healthy and get those explosive runs. And so like that's why I think he could be the RB1 this year. Like he has the potential. The downside is he gets hurt a lot, and so he could miss 5 games. So he's kind of like a safer Christian McCaffrey, where like McCaffrey has big upside, but he has a very low floor because like he's only played 48.5% of the game since 21. He has a chronic Achilles tendonitis in both feet, and he has a big workload from all the years. Like HN may be brittle, but he doesn't have that big workload. He doesn't have chronic Achilles tendonitis, and he's not 29. So like he's safer than McCaffrey, but he still has that same upside. So that's why I like HN so much.
Yeah, I watch him play, and I just don't think he's as good. I guess that's my analysis. And he's 190. He's listed 190 pounds.
Yeah,
probably less than that. And the history of those guys is not good.
Yeah,
so, not impossible. But
you know what they say about history? It's for school. History's mystery. Drop Keon Coleman for Thielen. Coleman's upside higher. Its upside's higher. If it's PPR, maybe, but no, I'd rather keep Coleman. Just you might get something more out of Coleman, and if not, like you could probably get some better than Thielen on the open market anyway. Okay, so do you want to talk about your team? You drafted 4th. How did you like your team? I mean, you said you liked it a lot. So is that the case for the rest of the draft?
Yeah, it started great, and I think where it went off the rails a little bit here is the DJ Moore pick, because then I felt like I was chasing a bit. I thought to myself, there's some running backs here. One of those guys will last to me until they're 8th. So the guys that I was looking at was Jalen Warren, and then JCM, and then Bigsby, Dobbins, and then Jordan Mason. Like that was the guys I had listed there. I thought for sure one of those guys will last. I was wrong. All of them went in that next set of picks there. So then I went to Khalil Shakir because I just felt that, and then I felt like I was reaching here with Williams and Stevenson. I think I can make a good argument for both of those guys, but I reached here. But I just felt sort of compelled to do that. And really, had I had another decent, I'm just like, I'm trying to hit on a running back in this. If this is a real team, had if I had Warren or Dobbins, then I wouldn't feel compelled to have to hit here, and then I would just take the best player available. In round 9, that would have been Thornton most likely for me, or Myers, one of those Raider guys. And then in round 10, although I like Stevenson there, um, here at 10-9, I think maybe maybe there's some other guys that I could consider here. I think Rashid Shaheed would be someone I could consider. Um, yeah, but maybe there's not like it's not a huge deal. There's not like a lot of players behind this that I'm like absolutely in love with. So maybe DeJuan Jennings there, maybe Josh Downs. Like instead of Stevenson and Williams, like one of these, if not both of these, would have been a receiver I liked. And then in that case, my team would be much better. But I get Burton in the 12th, whom I love. Herbert in the 13th, which I'm very confident in. Pop Douglas in the 15th, which I think is almost criminal. And Rachaad White, who, I think you've said it. I think you've said it really well. Like if Bucky Irving gets injured, Bucky Irving's like 180 pounds, right? Like if he gets a full workload, and he runs with contact. Like Bucky Irving runs like he's 220. Like someone needs to tell him either hit the gym or run different. But we love him. I mean, I think he's a great player. If I end up with Bucky Irving's my RB1, I'm fine with that. But he can get injured. But you said it before really well. You think like Bucky's probably the primary guy, with White being the kind of the third down back, occasional. And if Irving were to get hurt, White would not take his load. Sean Tucker would.
Yeah.
And Sean Tucker's a really good player, like in his own right. Like he's a nice little player. And so, but with that, like I think White could easily get 200 touches. A running back to get 200 touches or 175 touches, like in the 14th round is super value. Like he's gonna get as many, if not more, touches than Javonte Williams and Ramondre Stevenson, who I drafted in 9th and 10th. He might get more touches than Eckler and Doodle and Tajay Spears or Jerome Ford or Nick Chubb, right? Like,
yeah.
So I don't know. Rachaad White in the 14th. I think you could do way worse as your RB6. So I generally like this team.
That he could be traded too, so he could be traded to a team where he starts. So I like the pick there. My team, I went with the 12th spot because I haven't drafted in the 12th spot in these mock drafts. So I started Irving, Achane. Explain that why I want double running back. I wanted triple running back, but all the guys were gone, so I went with Marvin Harrison. My other receivers, Devontae Smith, Mecca Igbukah, and I took Juwan Jennings. I didn't talk about the pick. He might land on IR. We'll see. I think that's kind of nonsense. I think that's kind of like posturing for the contract negotiation and like Absolutely. The what was it, the injury, that calf injury that he has for like a month and a half. I think that's him being like, hey, I'm not going to practice very much until you pay me,
Yeah, so, 100%. I don't believe it one bit.
Yeah. So I mean, he used to go like round 6 or round 7 in best ball, like round 9, 12. It feels like good value. Lambert Smith, just a late round flyer. And Franklin, shout out to Armac. Burrow 401, didn't need to take quarterback up to that. Drafted Jake Ferguson too. I wanted Brenton Strange, but Trump Best took him. So I was kind of tempted to take Higbee because I drafted him so much, but I'd rather have Ferguson. And then Ollie Gordon, I think good sleeper. I didn't talk about him either. He looks great. I don't know if you got to check out Ollie Gordon. I know you don't watch preseason, but maybe you've seen highlights. This guy is like runs with so much power and burst, like just tramples over people. This guy's like so tough. I know I have Achane. I don't like drafting my own handcuffs. I just thought like Ollie Gordon was just like way too good to pass up there at 10-01. Just so much potential. If Achane misses time, I think it's gonna be the Ollie Gordon show, and I think he's better than Jalen Wright. Actually, it's probably going to be a committee with him and Wright, but Gordon looks so good. Like I know preseason, but like the power and like the burst he has, like I just like you can't fake that. So, yeah, this team, not bad. I'm kind of disappointed and get a good third running back, but maybe Krosky Merritt pans out. So. All right, so you want to talk about these teams? We can start with Mundo at the 1 spot. He drafted Robinson, Hubbard, and Henderson. So a great start with the triple running back. And then he went Wilson, Sutton. I love Sutton at 501. And then Coleman, Pat Bryant. Receiving group looks pretty thin. That's like my the one takeaway I have here. rather than taking a second quarterback. I think I would have taken like another receiver there. That's like really my only criticism. I like this team a lot. Otherwise, I'm not like a big Wilson fan just because Justin Fields is so sketchy as a passer. But otherwise, team looks solid. What do you think about this team?
Yeah, solid. Yeah, I hate drafting six round running backs in the third round, so I'm not a fan of that.
Oh, I
Um,
love Henderson. He's so good.
yeah, I'm not going to own him at all because I'm way behind the average draft position apparently. Um, yeah, so I don't I just don't understand taking Mayfield here. Like to me, there's six quarterbacks that I think are worth taking in the first kind of over 8 rounds. Um, to me, if I get to the fourth round and Jackson or Josh Allen are on the board, which they're inevitably not going to be, but if they are, then I'm willing to take one of those guys. In the fifth round, I'm willing to take Burrow. In the sixth round, I'm willing to take, Hurts or Mahomes. And like, and that's pretty. Am I missing anyone? I think that's it. Or the Redskins kid. What's his name? Daniels. Like to me, Hurts, Daniels, or Mahomes all like are 6 rounders to me. Burrow's a 5th rounder. Jackson, Allen are 4th rounders. Like that's my. Other than that, wait till round 12 or 13 and take one of the guys late. Like after the top 6, there's just this massive drop off that just like none of these guys are worth picking. I say it every year. It just doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, that's my 2 cents. Hawkinson in the 7th is not terrible. I think there are better receivers on the board that I would have prioritized to help his receiver room. Yeah, that's my take. If he'd not taken Mayfield and just taken McCarthy as his number 1 QB around 12, like that would be great.
Yeah. I want to correct something I said. I said instead of McCarthy. I think you're right. I'd keep McCarthy instead of Mayfield. I think that's what I should have said. Instead of Mayfield, if you take DJ Moore or Pickens or Dunze or Golden, this team looks so much better because you'll have the receiving depth. Yeah.
Even with my disagreements on like individual players, like even if he goes triple running back with Henderson there, and it's like it's Wilson, Sutton, even though like, I don't love Wilson in that spot, but if it's Wilson, Sutton, and then a reliable receiver, and then the rest is the same, this team looks dramatically different.
Yes, completely agree. All right, so Slew's team at the 2 spot, he took Chase and then Cook and Swift, and sandwiched by Allen, and then his rest of the receivers are Flowers, Metcalf, Pittman, Shaheed. Love the Shaheed pick there. The other picks are pretty solid. A receiver at least. I'm not big on Cook at 211. I just worry that the time missed in training camp could really hurt him. Plus, there's gonna be touchdown regression. I don't mind him like the 4th round, but second round I think it's too early. But I mean, you're not going to get him in the 4th round anyway. The Allen Cook connection is it's an interesting stack at least. Jones, I'm not a big fan of Jones in general, but he usually goes earlier than this. So like 702 is decent value. Algier has high upside as a replacement for Bijan if he gets hurt. I think Garendo, I still love Garendo, still great physical talent. We'll see if he gets a chance to play.
I don't think he's a great physical talent.
Well, we know he is. I mean, he's the
I don't know that
athlete. He's one of the best athletes I've ever seen a running back ever.
I watched him play. I thought he stunk.
He's big and super fast. Like athletically, I'm not talking about vision. I'm not talking about anything. I'm talking about just as a pure athlete. Like if you just like put
Tevin Coleman.
I have to look up Tevin Coleman's RAS score. Let's look it up.
I don't know. But Tevin Coleman was big and fast coming out of Indiana.
Yeah, and actually, his RAS score is lower than Garendo's. He was a 972, and Garendo was a 999. Like Garendo's like top tier athlete we've ever seen at the position. I'm not saying he's good. I'm not saying he's a good player. I'm just saying as an pure athlete, like he's the best, like one of those athletes we've ever seen at running back. So there's upside there. Mitchell definitely upside there, and Ingold, you have to love the Ingold pick. Palmer, I think like Palmer's kind of interesting. At 14-11, like he went like 5 rounds later than Coleman, so he might be better than Coleman. So this team is some picks I didn't like, other picks I did like, so it seems like fair. Tucker Kraft I likes the value in the 11th round. What do you think about this team?
Yeah, I overall like this team. I think I disagree with the philosophy of drafting a quarterback at that spot. So I'm always going to highlight that, but that's just Cook. Yeah, I think I like Cook mid-3rd. I probably would not be taking Cook in the 2nd round. There might be some exceptions, but it's unlikely. But it's not criminal. Like a 211, like it's fine. Yeah, I just don't like I don't like the build of my team. And so like the at the end of the day, like the running backs are just kind of like a little weak. Like DeAndre Swift, like, you know, he's had history of injury and fading. Aaron Jones, I love him as a player, but injury history. Don't know how much Mason's going to be there. Algier could be an unbelievable value or could be kind of useless. Isaac Guerrero, I'm not sure should be drafted in redraft leagues at this point. Yeah, I think the running back room, just like if you pull Josh Allen out and you put a running back there, you put, you know, I mean, well, you hate the guys that I would mention: Alvin Kamara, James Conner, Brees Hall. So, you know, obviously you would not maybe agree that team looks better with one of those guys in that spot.
Yeah, I think like when Henderson went, it's like like for me, who do you take there? I probably would take AJ Brown at 302. And then, you know, your receivers look better. Maybe at instead of 811 Pittman, you could take Drake May or something, or I think that's kind of where I would fall. But I don't mind the Josh Allen pick. I mean, you're getting the QB1, who just like I said this, like I try to get one of the top 5 guys, or just wait. And Slew went with the former, which I'm definitely not going to criticize. You know,
you have top 5 versus top 6.
I have top 5 quarterbacks and then a huge drop off. I discussed this. I did a video on my quarterbacks.
Oh,
so
I missed that.
Yeah. My top 5 quarterbacks, the projected points. So at 385 for Josh Allen, 377 for Lamar Jackson, 358 for Daniels, 353 for Hurts, and then 352 for Burrow. My next guy is Mahomes at 311. Like, this is just a big drop off from the top 5 to Mahomes, and then Mahomes is number 6. And then like Mahomes is in from Mahomes, who's 311, from him to number 14, Kyler Murray, there's only an 18-point difference.
Yeah, I don't do projections. I don't think anyone should, but that's a whole other conversation. We never really talk about that. But
well, I run a website and people ask for projections, so
I'm just like, they're all wrong. Like no one can project exactly what a player is going to do. Like, it just seems such a funny thing.
Obviously not. I don't expect to get the numbers right on the dot. It's just like I think I'm going to be within the area, maybe, hopefully. Like, I don't know, if I project 352 for Burrow and he gets 339, I'm happy about that. You know, like,
yeah,
I don't know. I'm not like I better get 352 Burrow or I suck. You know,
I mean, it's like so many things could happen. Like I guess I don't. It's not how I've never really done. I've always been like, projections. What? That don't make sense. Like,
well, anything.
For like 20 years, I've always been like, I don't do projections. Why do you guys do that?
Do you well, this is a bad example. I was about to say, do you hate do you hate like weathermen because they always get everything wrong because anything could happen? I feel like I don't know. I like this. Maybe this is an argument in your favor. I'm just like, no one can predict the weather, so like, why even bother listening to it?
I think yeah, to some extent. I mean, there's some things that get like generally right. Like the big, like, hey, there's a hurricane coming in. It means it's going to have a lot of extra rain. Like, okay, that makes sense. Like there's a big thing. So like the big thing is, hey, Allen and Lamar Jackson are way better than Cam Ward. Okay, that's the big thing. Like, so there should be a gap between Lamar Jackson and Cam Ward. Okay. But like, what precisely is the difference? Like, I don't know. Like, it just like no one's gonna know. So I don't even want to try. Maybe that's my like why am I trying this? I'm also a quitter. Like, in general, I'm a quitter. Like, this drives my wife crazy. I am not someone like my dad, for example. My dad is late 60s. He's worked at the same company for 40 years. You know, he got a job when he was 29, and he's worked for the company for like 37 years, whatever it is. He's like super loyal, works really hard, committed to his job, but he bitches and complains about all kinds of stuff about his job. And I'm just like, Dad, why don't you quit? Like I would have had that job for like 11 months. I would have been out. Like, and so I had more jobs by age like 23. I had more jobs in my life than my dad had. because I don't stick with things. I quit. Like that's just my nature. If things not going right, I just quit. So like to me, like projections, like is it easy? It's like that's not gonna work. I just quit. What's the point of putting energy into that? Just quit. Like stop doing it. Like that's kind of my in life, except for marriage. I have
So
a
far.
I have a quitter's mentality. I am not a stick with it no matter what. I'm like, listen, if it sucks, just go.
Dude, I'm like super pot committed. Like I will stick with something like to the end. Like if I'm watching a crappy show and like I will stick with it just because I have to, you know. I
That's
think
actually
like
a really interesting because I will turn the show off 8 minutes in. Like this sucks. I'm off.
oh no, not 8 minutes in, but like okay, if it show sucks, I'll turn it off right away. But like if I watch a show for like 2 seasons and it's great, and then like the third season starts to suck, and then the fourth season's awful, fifth season's even worse, like I'll still keep watching it just because
You're just, it
I'm
feels like
like
you're describing a particular show there.
yeah, I know, yeah. So I don't know, like yeah, that's unfortunate. I was actually watching a Game of Thrones video today, and like this guy, it was like a 30-minute video, and he was like, these are all the abandoned plot lines in Game of Thrones, and he then mentioned like 50 of them. It was so bad. I
So
was like,
bad.
oh my god, I
So
was like, oh
bad.
my god, I forgot about these. Like the woman who appeared in Karth to talk to Jorah, like she just never came back. There's just so many, like the symbol the White Walkers are making, like they made a big deal of it, they never addressed it. Like there's so many things that they just like never addressed it. Like, oh my god, this is even worse than I thought.
So bad.
Yeah, that's say the one example that I quit was The Walking Dead, because and like I stuck with it even when it was bad. Like I just kept going and going. The final season though, they had stormtroopers in The Walking Dead. Like I'm not joking. They had stormtroopers from Star Wars in The Walking Dead. I'm like, I'm out. I can't do this anymore. That
I
was the line. That was like the
I
straw
quit.
that broke the
I
camel's back.
I quit right before Negan came in. So apparently that became I quit like at the end of five, and I was just like, okay, I'm
Yeah.
done with the show. Um,
Yeah, no, I kept watching because I was like, this was good. I still, the characters are mostly there. It's like maybe they turn it around, and like some of the Negan episodes are great, but they lingered on that too long, and then it just got bad. It just got really bad. But I kept watching it, and then the stormtroopers came, and I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Stormtroopers, I can't do stormtroopers. I'm Star Wars out. Maybe if they didn't ruin Star Wars, maybe I would have kept watching it, but they ruined Star Wars too. Anyway, I
Star
think
Wars is the most overrated franchise in human history.
well,
Anyway,
we discussed this. I think you said the original trilogy was fine, but the rest of the movie sucked. Is that correct?
like it was fine. Yeah, fine is it. That's all I said.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I mean,
B minus.
I like the original trilogy. The prequels were not good, but they were fun to watch sometimes. Episode 2 was awful. I'll say that. Episode 1 was like, it's for kids almost. It felt like a childish movie because, Anakin Skywalker was a kid. So it almost felt like childish movie. It's okay. Like it was entertaining. It just, Jar Jar Binks was ridiculous. And there's some stuff in there that was dumb. But I think episode 3 was fun. It was a fun watch. And then but like episode 7 and 8 were so bad. I've never even watched episode 9. I think I'll watch it eventually, but like I don't know. The sequels were awful, like truly awful. And so I couldn't. I've never watched any of the spinoffs outside. I watched like one of the spinoffs and it sucked too. So I'm like, Disney ruined Star Wars so bad.
Yeah, I thought the original the only Star Wars movie I've seen that I like. I've seen like the nine, there's 9 total within like the mains, and then there's like those offshoot movies.
Yeah.
I've not seen all the offshoot movies. But the only Star Wars movie I ever saw of the whatever, there's 10 or 11 that I've seen total. The only one is one of those offshoot movies, is the Rogue One movie. It's like in between.
Yeah.
It's like after the original or after the older. It's like basically episode 3.5.
Yes.
Kind of like.
That was the only one I saw and I hated it.
It's the only one I actually liked. I think it was a totally different feel, and I loved it. I thought it was great. But
I did not like it at all. I didn't like the characters. Just couldn't get into them. I felt like it could have been better if they had more intriguing characters, but I don't know. Just never got attached to them.
So
Anyway, we can keep going about
we're like
this.
way off the rails here. Like no one's watching us right now.
Yeah,
Like they're
yeah,
like, what are these games?
yeah. The Office got bad at the end after Michael Scott left.
Never
Breaking
watched
Bad.
it.
You never watched The Office?
No.
Like, never watched a single episode, or just watched a few times and never didn't like it.
I never watched an episode. Never watched it at all.
Dude, what are you doing? Why not? It's so funny. At
I don't
least
know.
like
I
Steve
saw
Carell episodes.
I've seen clips and it's like doesn't seem exciting.
Dude, it's such a good show until at least until Michael Scott leaves. But
I have to go back.
um,
Yeah.
I'll say the
I
first
watched Parks
season,
and Rec.
The Office is much better in Parks and Rec. I said that the Parks and Rec is the Office offshoot with no charm. Like like every character from Parks and Rec is like a just like a soulless version of someone from The Office. That's how I felt. It's much it's the same sort of show. It's just much better. I would say the first season is a little rough, but it's a short season. Like I think even if you just start season 2, like you won't miss anything. And like seasons 2 through 5 or 6, like it's some of the best TV you'll ever see. It's really good. You should watch it, and you should also watch Alice in Borderland, which I'm sure you didn't watch yet, and
No.
the Eight show, which was fantastic. I think I have some other shows too, which probably recommend. But I've been right now I'm watching Prison Break season 5. Prison Break was one of my favorite shows like ever when I was watch it live. But I've never watched season 5, and so I actually went back and watched the first and last episode of every season to kind of like give me a reminder of what was going on. And now I'm watching season 5 of Prison Break, so I'm enjoying that right now. It's pretty good.
I've watched all of Prison Break.
Season 5 too?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, don't tell me anything about season
We've
5.
never talked about it. It's funny. We never talked about that show.
Yeah, I never knew you watched it. It's good. Yeah, I love Prison Break. So I'm like the middle of season 5, so I don't know how it's gonna go, but it seems good so far. Parks and Rec is the G League. What'd you say?
I'm reading the comment, Brian. It's funny. It made me laugh.
Parks and Rec is the G League team of the 100%. Yeah,
I married into it. When I got married, my wife was a big fan, so I just watched it with her.
If you like Parks and Rec, you will love The Office. Like they're the same show. It's the same show. Just The Office is better actors and better characters. Yeah. Maybe not better actors, but they're better characters for sure. Anyway, the Moon. So the Moon, I think, was an auto draft at the end because he took Mixon and Godwin, some sketchy players there. The top of his team was a good start. I think Barkley, Hampton, Hurts. The receiver depth is awful here, but I think that's because the auto draft. So I'm not going to judge it too bad. I don't even know if it's worth like talking about this team. But
I do have a couple quick questions.
Yeah.
So you said you have this weird hunch or speculation that you think Mixon's not going to play at all.
Yes.
That's bad for me because I have him in 48, 46, 47% of my best ball leagues. So of my 111 drafts, he's in more than
you got to do some more drafts to get that percentage lower.
So that's not good. That does not.
No.
And I can't draft him like anyway. I can't. No, it can be. It doesn't matter. It could be 18th round. I can't draft him. I can't have him. It's too. I'm too exposed.
Yeah.
So, but in redraft, like where is the place to draft and redraft? Like, I don't know what to do with him.
I don't know. 12th round maybe. Like it depends if you don't have an IR spot. Like if you have an IR spot, you can take him like 11th round or so. Maybe 10th. If you don't have an IR spot, it's so hard to draft him because like he's already gonna be up for 4 weeks, and like when he returns, you don't even know what version you're gonna get out of him. And the offensive line sucks too. So there's a lot wrong there. And I just don't know what the upside is. And he's also 30, so a lot going against him. And like what if Nick Chubb looks good? What if Whitty Marks takes the job and takes off with it? And like they're just not going to give Mixon the full workload. And like coming off injury, they're like we're not going to give you the full workload. Like you get hurt again. Like we're just going to mix you in and split the touches with either Chubb or Marks or whoever is doing well there. If someone's doing well, so I feel like there's just a lot that can go wrong with him. So I think that yeah, no. So I think like if there's no IR spot, I guess like you take a flyer in round 12, that's fine. But I don't know, man. It's a tough situation.
Yeah, it's a bummer. What about Godwin? I mean, like the fact that the Buccaneers did not put him on PUP or IR, I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
I thought for sure he was going to be on PUP at least. The fact that he's not, and then you got other players there. They just cut Trey Palmer, who once upon a time I actually thought was a thing. Um, the number of players that we like that like don't pan out, like you forget, like, oh yeah, I really like Trey Palmer. I was anyway.
Paul Turner.
Yeah, McMillan's going to be out at least half the year, if not
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, 10 games. Otten's
Mike
hurt too.
Evans might be fine, but maybe takes a step back.
Yeah, Kate Otten's hurt right now, so he may not play week 1.
So like obviously that plays well for Ubeka's going to get he's going to get every shot, right? To win to be the primary guy there.
Yes.
But like if Godwin's getting some targets and if he's healthy, like, well, where do you take Godwin then? Like I've not drafted Godwin at all in best ball. Like I don't even know that I own him at all.
0% for me.
But now I'm rethinking that. Like, is he worthy of is 11th round a good spot for him in redraft?
No, I mean he's not even jogging yet on his foot. I think they didn't put him on PUP because they wanted him to practice with the team. But he had this dislocated ankle for a receiver is just so bad. And like I heard from just from behind the scenes that like he's not even like walking properly. Like he's like an issue with his gait right now. Like, so I don't know. I'm kind of shocked that they didn't put him on PUP, but like we see that all the time. Like sometimes teams just don't put players on like in season IR and then they miss like 5 games. And I'm like, well, why don't you just put that person on in season IR? They miss 4 weeks and then they come back. Yeah. And sometimes teams just screw that up. So I feel like the Buccaneers are just being like overly optimistic, but like a dislocated ankle for a receiver it seems so difficult to come back from. He had 2 surgeries on it, and like I said, he's not even jogging on it yet. So how's he going to play? I don't know.
Yeah, so I just I mean that doesn't sound good. I was just really surprised they didn't put him on IR or PUP, and I guess I was to me that's then the fact that they cut some other guys and McMillan's out, and I'm like, well, it feels like there's a gaping hole there at receiver right now for them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess so, but Ibuka is awesome. He's so good. Do I need to trade for a QB if I have Williams and McCarthy in a 12-man? No, I mean, it depends. Depends, like, what you can get. Like, you can shop around and see if you can get a good deal, but I don't think you need to. Do you agree?
Yeah, I don't think you need to. In a 12-man league, I mean, it depends on, obviously, I don't know what your roster constructions and league settings are, but I presume that you've got guys even off the free agency. You can go to my website, thecapissfake.com. My most recent articles about quarterbacks and how you can get top 8 production off the waiver wire any given week.
There we go. Quarterback's easiest position to replace. So check out the capissfake.com. And
Williams and McCarthy may turn into something. One of those guys might.
Yeah, I like both of them for fantasy at least. Would you give up Bijan for Neighbors and Achan? I think so. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I would. I mean, even though I just dogged Achan a bit, I absolutely would do that. I love Bijan, but that's a lot of value.
Yeah, I would too. All right, let's get going here. Halmar at the 5 spot. He started with Gibbs and Williams. So good start. JSN, nice. I don't get Kittle and Warren. That really sticks out to me. And then he went Nixon and May. Don't do that because like his running back depth is pretty bad. Like, I mean, Gibbs and Williams is great, and then Pacheco's solid third, I guess. But then you have Jerome Ford. Like, you don't want anyone in the Browns. You only have 4 running backs. You have 3 tight ends. It just seems like just lots of mistakes here. I do love Tesla in the 14th, but I can't get behind this team just how it's built. What do you think? I love Thornton though.
Yeah, I love the top 3 picks. Yeah, I love the value there. JSN's one of my favorite players, but like I just keep not drafting him because there's just like every time I pick, there's someone like that I'm like I just like in this case like AJ Brown, like JSN would have been my next pick. I'm just like AJ Brown's on the board, I got to take him. But I love JSN. I'm just fundamentally opposed to taking tight ends. Like to me, the earliest is I feel like I say this over and over again. I'm a broken record. Round 7, like don't take tight end before round 7. That's the earliest. And really, like ideally round 11 or later is like ideal. I fundamentally against taking tight ends. I think this is part of it. Like you just say, the running back depth here is weak, and the receiving upside is not great. I mean, Thornton, I like. Higgins, we've not heard great things about out of the training camp and the scrimmages. What are they called? Control practices or
Yeah.
dual practices, whatever they called now. Which I'm starting to put more and more stock in those. By the way, like
Yeah.
the beat reports coming out of training camp always feel like fluff. The beat reports coming from the team practices, dual practices, always seem more like, oh, the players seem to take it seriously. So
Yeah. I wish they'd broadcast those. It's like, what's the NFL Network doing? Why are they not
oh man, that
broadcasting?
feels like a gold mine, right?
Oh yeah, NFL Network's so poorly run. Charlie Campbell did a video on that on our channel. It is so poorly run. And he just I don't want to like steal his thunder, but like he talked about how horrible it is. Yeah, no, we agree on this team. I love Tyler Warren. I'm trying to get him 7th round. You mentioned 7th round. I'm trying to get him 7th round every time. He's my tight end 4. I'm like right behind Kittle, who's going 4th round.
Where do you have Mark Andrews rated?
Andrews is my tight end 7.
Okay. Where did Andrews go here? 7. He went in 7th round. Okay.
Yeah. So he was what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, tight end 7. So
yeah. I have Andrews as 4th, but I have Warren 5th, Hawkinson 6th.
Okay. I have Warren 4th, Laporta 5th, Hawkinson 6th, Andrews 7th.
Yeah, I love Jameson Williams this year. I'm a big fan. I expect him to take a big step forward. I think it's going to cut into Laporta's workload.
Yeah, could be. Tesla as well, maybe. All right, so Gooner at the 6th spot. This receiving room looks really rough. So yeah, Nakua is okay. I mean, obviously a good player. Then Hill, okay, fine. And then Judy, I hate the Browns. Cooper Kupp's your 4th. Ayoka's your 5th. Like this receiver depth here is just like lackluster. McCaffrey, even I don't like McCaffrey. I don't like Montgomery. Jalen Warren, big question mark. Although billionaire Arthur Smith, he could go with Jalen Warren because he's the veteran. Najee Harris, it may not play with his eye. Chubb, who knows? This team looks pretty rough. 2 quarterbacks. Mahomes way too early. I don't like how this team was built. What do you think?
Yeah, I totally agree. A lot of shooting for the moon here.
Mm-hmm.
You can do some of that, and certainly I think there's a point in the graph where you want to shoot for the moon a little bit. But yeah, there feels like there's too much of it there. I'm probably a little bit higher on a couple of these guys than you are. I think I'm probably a little higher on Nakua, maybe. Hill, Warren, probably. But yeah, I generally agree with you.
Yeah, to the moon. Some of these, but like Cooper Kupp, he's like shooting to the center of the earth. Just like there's zero upside at all. Like you're gonna get 3 catches for 30 yards. Like, congratulations, all right, so Kill is a key 151, the 7th spot. He started with Lamb, and his other receivers are Rice, Worthy, Adunze, and Reed. So some risks there with Rice. I love Adunze at 707. I thought that was great value. I actually accidentally marked him off the board, and so I forgot. I didn't realize that he wasn't taken yet. I thought he was, and so that kind of surprised me. I would have loved him at 712. Worthy, not a big fan of him, but 6th round's fine. Reed, we talked about him too. So running backs are Jacobs, Connor, Tootin, Doodle, Hunter. It could be worse, I guess. I'm not a big Connor guy, but I know you're bigger on Connor than I am, or higher on him than I am. Lamar Jackson 307's okay, and Njoku, I'd rather not have a Browns player. Like he's gonna be good with Flacco, but then like Flacco will be benched eventually, and then you're just not gonna get anything out of him. Which I guess like you could just replace him, so it's not like the end of the world. So this team's okay. I don't have like a huge issue with it overall. I don't like some of the players you drafted, but I think it's okay. Like that's certainly better than some of the teams we recently talked about. So what do you think about the team?
Yeah, I mostly agree with you. I think the one thing, like lesson learned, like if when you're drafting late, like consider like in the 11th round, which I think is the right place to start thinking about tight end. Rather than Njoku at 11-7, like I just much prefer Loveland there, like because there's some upside. Like if the Bears end up being really great and Loveland's really great, he's the first tight end taken off the board, in the NFL draft. Like I don't know, like Njoku, we know what he is. There's no upside with him. So it's like, Hunter 12th round feels a little early. Doodle, there's no upside with Doodle. Like he sucks. Like, if Hubbard gets hurt, then maybe I guess then Doodle is like, I don't know. But if he's a handcuff, maybe in round 12 or 13. But like, yeah. Anyway, and I think Tootin, I'm not sure that Tootin's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. All right. So Ronier, the A spot, he went triple receiver with Jefferson, Collins, and Higgins. So I mean, three good players, and then you got McBride for decent value of 4 or 5 because he's usually going like third round. Um, and then McMillan, Olave. I feel like Olave is kind of like overkill there. Like he's a walking concussion. So while he's like a great talent, I just think that like it's a lot of risk there at 908. But I guess like it's late enough that you can kind of justify it. Pollard, Mason, Judkins, Eckler, ATNs as running backs. I feel like why Eckler? There's just zero upside with Eckler. Like he's not going to get out of his role. He's not going to have a bigger role because Robinson's gone. There's no. I feel like there's no reason to draft something like that. Prescott, and then he was quarterbacks Prescott Williams, just fine. So I mean, look, this team's okay. There are worse teams in this league. I just feel like I would have done things differently. What do you think?
The philosophy of triple receiver is not one I would endorse, but I love the players, and I think they're all good values where he's taking them. Like Jefferson at 1.8, I think it's great. Collins at 2.5, like it's pretty good. Like I would have gone Jacobs there, but like you know what? I think you can make a strong case for Collins in that spot. I had Brian Thomas ahead of him, but I think it's defensible. Higgins at 3.8, like I think it's totally defensible. The difference though is at 4.5, you can't go tight end there, and you can't go McMillan at 6.5. You have to hit on running backs in this spot if you're going to go triple receiver. So at 4.5, like I like Connor or Brees Hall in that spot there, and then you got Pollard, fine, and then at 6.5 you got to hit a running back there. So like Montgomery, Aaron Jones, then you're reaching like I don't know 6.5. Is Jalen Warren a 6.5 player? Like feels like you're reaching. But then you have to at that. If you're going to go triple receiver, now you have to reach for running backs in the middle rounds. Otherwise, you're just in serious trouble. So, this team, Pollard, Mason, Junkins, Eckler, this team is going to start 0-5. Unless the receivers are just like absolutely historic, right?
Yeah, it looks running back. The situation looks pretty like you're starting Mason. Because Judkins is going to be suspended, so like you're not starting him. Maybe you're starting ETN. That seems like a disaster. I don't like this. I don't like that the team's built. So Armac at the 9 spot, he started with St. Brown and then took Taylor. And his running backs pretty thin. He only has 5. He has Taylor, Kamara, Sampson, Marks, and Giddens. I think like only 2 of these are starters. So if one goes down, like his running back depth looks pretty bleak. I think that given the running back situation, I think it was like pretty tough to draft like a receiver 4 over 1 or like Ingram over 1. I feel like one of these players should have been a running back. I think that would make this team look better. But like and like 2 tight, like you don't need 2 tight ends. So this is the problem. Like if you took like a running back instead of Ingram, you still would have gotten Loveland. I don't think there's much of a difference between Ingram and Loveland. Like so,
I think Loveland's better.
Yeah, it could be. So I think it's kind of redundant. So instead of Ingram, if you take like Benson or Davis or Algier, suddenly your team's going to look better. If like when Taylor and Kamara both get hurt, like they both have injury histories. So that's the problem here. Like I like the receivers. I love Daniels. I just think that like you're going to be hurting running back depth if inevitably one of those guys gets hurt, because they always do. What do you think?
Yeah, running back's the hardest position to replace midseason, and so like that's why you have to have. I think you really need 4 decent options. This team I drafted doesn't have a 4th decent option, and so that's why I start throwing darts at guys. But like I think that's troublesome. Could it work out? Sure. Could all your guys stay healthy? Absolutely, it could. But man, that's just history shows. I know history is just for school, but history shows that doesn't work out.
That's right.
Also, I'm on Ron St. Brown, who is a decent player. I just have several guys rated ahead of him. I'd take Neighbors ahead of him. I'd take London ahead of him, Collins, Nakua, Brian Thomas, and A.J. Brown. I'd take all those guys ahead of Ron St. Brown. So I don't know if I'm lower than the market. I don't know where St. Brown's going. His ADP is mid-second or early second.
Like early second, yeah.
But there are just several guys I think. I might even take JSN ahead of him. I think I'm gonna eventually put JSN ahead of him, I think.
Well, yeah, not to mention the running backs too. Like you mentioned, receivers ahead of him. Like you could, I would take Brown, Irving, Achan over him. I'd take Genty over him. I'd take Jacobs over him. So like if you replace St. Brown with a running back, like this team just looks so much better. So if you replace St. Brown with a running back, and then instead of Ingram, you take a receiver like Judy or Shakir or Pittman or Thornton, like that looks so much better to me. Like that looks, this looks like a great team. So just make those two changes. I think this looks so much better. All right, so Trump, I love Trump S team. I was looking at it like while you're talking. I was like, this seems like flawless. I like. I mean, obviously, some players could not pan out. Like, I'm not like a big Harvey fan, like as RB2, but he's going to get the opportunities there. If not, like one of Charbonnet or Braylon Allen's going to pan out. It's like they're going to become an RB2. Chase Brown's awesome. The receivers look so great. London, McConkey, Hunter, Addison. Like Addison's a perfect receiver for because you won't need him weeks 1 through 3, and then when the buys come around, like he's going to be a great receiver 3 for you. Horton, love him as a sleeper. Blue as well. Brashard Smith's catching passes. Look what he did with his quarterback and tight end. He stacked them. Lawrence and Strange. This guy's best ball written all over him. Lawrence and Strange, and he also had Hunter, so he has Jacksonville stack. I love this team. This is my favorite team so far. What do you think?
Yeah, I think overall very good. I know I hate AJ. I think Harvey is like an 8th or 9th round pick. I think Dobbins is going to be the primary guy there for. I'd be willing to bet if I were a betting man. I would if you're going to put a gun in my head and make me bet $1, I would on who's going to have more rushing yards the first 8 weeks of the season. I would easily put that on Dobbins over Harvey. And I still don't know what to make of Hunter. I think I'm convinced Hunter's not going to play defense at this point. Like I think that was a question mark earlier in the offseason, but just all accounts seem like okay, he's going to be a wide receiver and may occasionally be on defense here and there, but is primary a receiver. Which I guess I take it, 5th feels a little high to me, but there's other guys I just like more. I mean, Devontae Smith, I think is a way better option than Travis Hunter. I think Ibuka is a way better option than Hunter in that spot. I think Devontae Adams, I would take him ahead of him. I'd take James Williams ahead of him. So I'd take DK Metcalf ahead of him. Like there's a crew of guys I'd take ahead of him. But it's defensible.
Yeah, I like him a lot. Did you see his defensive rotations in the one preseason game he played?
No.
So he played one drive on offense. He played every snap except for one with Trevor Lawrence. So it was like 12 out of 13 snaps or something. And then the defense took the field. I'm like, okay, we're gonna see Hunter take the field, right? On defense. How many snaps do you think he played on the first string defense on the next drive?
1.
0.
Oh wow.
0.0 to quote the dean from Animal House. He didn't play a single snap with the starters on defense. Now he played with the backups. I think that he could be like a sub package guy, play like some dime package. Like I think if I were to guess, I think he's going to play 80 to 90% of snaps on offense. And I think he's going to play like 20 to 25% snaps on defense, if I had to guess.
I think just stop it, dude. Just play receiver.
Yeah, I agree. Look, if you have injuries at corner, you can step in, try that. Like, it's so hard to if you're no offense to UCF, it's in your neck of the woods, but if you're playing for Colorado and you're playing UCF, the receivers there, you don't really have to watch film on those guys.
Right.
Your talent could overtake them, but you're going against Nico Collins twice per year. You're gonna have to watch film on him. You got to know what he does, know his tendencies to match up against him. Even Calvin Ridley twice per year. You have to know what he does. This is not big. It's not what is that conference even UCF, Cincinnati, like all these scrub schools with no real players. This is the NFL. There's no Nico Collins on UCF or Cincinnati or SMU.
Hey, 2017 national champion UCF.
I'm sorry, should have remembered that. But no. I mean, you get it right. You can't just step on the field I'm going to cover Nico Collins twice per year. It's no, it doesn't work that way. You have to be fully prepared for that. That's why I said dime packages. If there's injuries to corner, he step in. But he's not going to be covering the receiver one this year. Not anytime soon.
And the elite receivers make significantly more money than the elite cornerbacks. The elite cornerbacks get paid well, but the elite receivers get paid way better. And so if you're going to pick one, every time I see a super athletic NFL player that probably could have played basketball. I'm like, why are you not in the NBA, dude? Like,
I know.
what a mistake you made. Like, Terry
Seriously.
McLaurin over here is holding out for 90 million. Meanwhile, Jordan Poole is the 11th guy making 140 million. Just what are you guys doing? What are you doing in NFL?
I know. Is it baseball's even worse, right? Although they play many more games, but still. Um, yeah, that's
On a like a per capita basis, NBA players are the best paid, are the highest paid.
yeah, and it's all guaranteed too. It's
Fully
like
guaranteed contracts. Oh,
yeah, yeah, it's so absurd. Anyway, I completely agree. I love Hunter. I think he's a great pick. I got him in my. I've done 2 leagues so far, 2 real leagues, 2 real drafts. I got Hunter in a PPR league at 8-10. Like I was so shocked that he was there. So I thought that was a steal. Anyway, final team we're talking about, Bro Brian. So he started Neighbors, and McLaurin, and Evans. Not a fan of Evans at forward two. Even McLaurin's very scary because he's not practiced at all. Feels like he could get injured very easily. Caleb Johnson 5'11" seems too early. Laporta, I don't like Laporta there 602. Like I like Warren over Laporta. So I'm not a fan of that. Waddle's a pyramid scheme. Myers is Myers is pretty mediocre. Myers is a great real player, but like fantasy wise, he's mediocre. Like Myers didn't drop a single pass last year. Like he's the coach's dream, but like he's not going to win you any leagues.
no.
Like if you want 5th place, like Myers is your guy, right? Like he can get you to the playoffs. So there's no upside, So
I mean, he's a fill-in guy, right? He's his 5th
right.
receiver. It's by weeks and injuries.
Right, exactly. So
Right.
I'd rather have someone with more upside there, but it's not a terrible pick there. With the running backs, like Genti's a good pick at 202, but Caleb Johnson's your RB2. He's not even starting. Like Dobbins, we don't know what that rotation is going to be. Like you think Dobbins may start? I don't know. I really don't know. Scatabo is the RB3 on that team. Roshan Johnson may be the RB3. There's a lot of questions with these running backs. And I like that he took Purdy. It feels okay if you're taking a long shot there. It's okay. But
I like Mooney in the 13th a lot.
Yeah, we just don't know if when he's gonna play. That's like a perfect IR spot guy. Just because like the coach said he was asked like when is Mooney gonna play? He's like he'll play at some point this year. I'm like, okay, what does that mean? So I just don't know. So a lot of question marks in this team. I like some of the picks, but other picks really scare me. What do you think?
Christian Kirk, by the way, he's another one. He's kind of in the same Godwin category. Like I've not drafted him all in best ball, but like all the reports is like the rookies have underwhelmed significantly, both Knoll and Higgins. The reports on Knoll, who was drafted later, is the reports on Knoll have been much better than the reports on Higgins. And the prospecting on the two guys are kind of similar, like different style players, but like in terms of quality. So like maybe if Kirk is healthy, there's actually a chance. Like I've been super down on him, but like I don't know, I'm rethinking it a little bit. Like maybe he's worthy of being drafted late. Like 14th round's probably fine. Like
Christian Kirk is like that, like the ex-girlfriend of yours you just keep going back to.
I know.
You're like, oh man, she looked good today. She's a complete mess, but man, she looked good.
It's so true because I love him. I've had him so many times.
I know.
You're
getting sucked back in again.
Oh, you're like Kenny. I thought you said you were done with her. I know.
Kenny, stay away from Kirk. I'm telling you, man. Don't go out drinking and call her at 2 a.m.
He saw a therapist.
Yeah.
I'm going to draft him in our league on Sunday. I'm going to draft him. Like,
I know you why.
He's going to be sitting there. Him and Mixon. I'm just going to gobble him up.
I know you will. I am counting on it.
I'm the worst. I'm such an
idiot. I think the keywords you said, if he stays healthy, and it's true. Look, if he can stay healthy, yeah, he could be good for sure. But like, if he stays healthy, he always gets hurt. It's just so hard to trust him at this point.
I know.
I don't know. What do you think about the rest of this team?
I mean, I think I agree. I agree 100%. What we said. Obviously, I love starting with Neighbors. I've come around on Genty. I'm fine with Genty in the second. I think I was a little nervous about him before. I would hate him in the first, but I think he's defensible in the second. Yeah, I think the team is okay. It's fine. Yeah, I hate Laporta. We already talked about that. I hate tight ends early.
Last question here. Where would you rank McLaurin if he didn't hold out or possible injury? I think right where he went. I
Yeah.
think and third is perfect for him. I like back in June, I did a bunch of drafts where I drafted McLaurin at like 310 and then Daniels at 403. Just kind of stack those two guys. So that is where I was drafting him before this nonsense holdout that he had. But like now it's much more riskier. I think now I wouldn't draft him until end fourth, early fifth. So he's at major risk for being hurt. Like you see, like there's a long history of guys who hold out and get hurt. Like CD Lamb is recently like he was banged up after he and had a down year after he held out for so long. Like these guys don't practice, and like yeah, you can train all you want, but like if you're not doing football stuff, then you're just gonna be at more risk of injury. So it's pretty scary. I think. Do you agree?
Yeah, man, it's hard. I think I probably would take him a little bit sooner than you would. But you're right. I mean, we've seen quite a bit. I mean, Ayuk is a great example of last year as well. We've seen it with running backs. There's a real factor to if you're not a full participant in off-season stuff, like either the starting slow or injury factor, like the combination of it. And if it's not injury, it's just even for great players, there are very few players immune to that. Like there really is a reason why they do OTAs, why they do training camp. Like it really does matter. Yeah. I've heard the Chiefs talk, but Mahomes has talked about it quite a bit. I mean, Mahomes plays in the preseason games and he plays in all the dual practices. Like Mahomes is like, he really believes it makes a difference. And so the Chiefs play their starters quite a bit.
Mahomes played into the second quarter last Saturday.
And I think to some extent I think it's easy. I heard someone say, I heard some ex-player say it. Maybe one of the talking heads. I can't remember which one said it. But it was Chris Chancey? Chris Chancey, what's his name?
There was a Chris Chancey who played defensive line.
Yeah, I saw him as one of the talking heads. He was on one of the shows. I saw he made a comment that basically like September has pretty much become the preseason. Like players are still ramping up, and he's just like he's like those games count though. Like he's like so often so many teams are the first 3 or 4 weeks of the year they're really still getting in the game shape. And you're seeing teams lose games that they really shouldn't lose. And like, it could cost you home field advantage down at the end of the year. I think the Eagles struggled with this last year, actually, to some extent. No, it ended up not costing them. They won the Super Bowl. So it was great. But they had to play, they had to play in the first round of the playoffs rather than having a bye week.
Yeah.
And you never know. You playing an extra game, you never know what could happen. Injuries could happen. You get unlucky, you get a fluky thing. Like you'd always prefer a bye week over having to play. And so, yeah, I think the Eagles struggled out of the gate to some extent last year, and then they got it going. But I think for fantasy you have to account for that. Guys that are not fully participating, absolutely, I think you have to downgrade them to some extent.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, with the slow starts, I mean, yeah, the Eagles started 1-1 and 2-2 last year. They won the Super Bowl. The Bengals, they started 0-2 a few years ago. They went to the Super Bowl. And they led in the fourth quarter. Patriots in 0-1, they started 0-2, and then Brady came on. They won the Super Bowl. So like, I feel like if you're gonna struggle, you might as well be in September. It was like those games don't mean as much because you get going, and yeah, you might like lose out on home field advantage, but like. I'd rather struggle early and then get hot than the opposite, or rather than start hot and just struggle at the end. But yeah, I mean, look, I do get it. Like I personally would just get rid of the preseason except for one game, and I think that might incentivize players to do more. They're never going to get rid of it, unfortunately. They just make too much money from it. It's such a bad product too. It's so horrible.
Sure. I mean, I would imagine at some point they're going to go to 18 games, and they would shave another preseason game down.
Yes, 18-2. Yeah, I think they'd do that.
I didn't know this. When they had a 14-game schedule, there was a six preseason games.
6 preseason games. Can you imagine?
In a 14-game schedule,
half the season's a preseason.
It's because a lot of the guys weren't full time, right? A lot of the guys had like off-season jobs in this, up until the 70s and 80s. I remember my dad talking about some of the Eagles players in the 70s, like a lot of them were bartenders, like or
Yeah,
servers, because
yeah,
like you couldn't get a real full time job because you had to quit every year in the summer.
yeah,
And like
absolutely.
they'd go to training camp for like 6 weeks, and they'd have like these like long practice. The Eagles practice around the average practice length for the Eagles every day for training camp this year for 18 days was an hour and 18 minutes.
Yeah,
Like an hour 18 minutes for 18 days opposed to like 42 days of like 5 hours a day. Like it's just a totally different animal, right?
it's crazy.
The guys back then, they weren't in game shape all year round, so they were getting in the shape. So totally different, crazy world. Anyway.
Yeah, can you imagine having played in like the 70s and not made any money compared to the guys now?
Oh
And
my
you're
god.
watching these guys like McLaurin get what $90 million, whereas like you didn't even get a tenth of that. It's
I feel like some of the players today should just like throw some money in a pot and like retroact, like thank you to those guys who like kind of laid the foundation for you. Like,
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, but then you half your money's going to taxes, and then a tenth of your money's going to your agent, and and then your baby mom, I'm sure, is getting some money too. Like
that's true.
it's at the end they're getting like nothing. They get like $5 at the end. It would be funny if like they did a video and showed down McLaurin's like all his money's going, and then he walks away with like $10. He's like oh, I could get McDonald's tonight. Thank you, thank you. Um, so yeah, Brian, even PPR, that's what actually I was talking about. Where I was taking McLaurin at like 310. That was PPR. So yeah. With some questions here. Rate this 12-man PPR, two flex. Lamar, Hampton, Harvey, Brown, Jamar, Justin Jefferson, Laporta, Diggs, Travis Hunter. I'm not a big fan of Diggs. We said we don't like Harvey too much, but overall, it looks like a decent team to me. What do you think?
You don't have a second running back.
Well, oh yeah, well Harvey's just
I
second
mean,
running back.
yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't. Everything else looks good. I don't know where you drafted Laporta, but yeah, I'm just totally out on this Harvey kid. I've not read any. No one I trust has said anything positive about him.
Yeah, I mean, well, look, he's explosive if he gets in the open field, kind of like Miles Sanders. I think that's the perfect comp. Like Sanders would have great games with the Eagles because he would run behind a great offensive line, and if he got past like the linebackers, he would just explode and just get long touchdowns. But like that's the same thing with Harvey. You can do the same thing. Denver has a good offensive line, so like there's a chance he does well this year, and so that's why I'm like I don't mind drafting him, but he's just not a good player. His running back vision is awful. But maybe he goes into it like he's a former quarterback, he's still learning the position. So like maybe he'll get better. But right now, I'm not a big fan.
There's only one that I can remember, at least. I mean, I could be wrong. There might be others that I just can't remember. But like the only player in recent history over the last 15 years that came into the league with bad vision that like actually corrected that is James Cook. James Cook was terrible.
I thought Chase Brown didn't have like great field vision either. I thought he improved that too. But
I don't remember him being bad. Like I thought he was. I always liked Chase Brown from the first time I saw him. So I don't remember. You might be right, but like Cook was terrible his rookie year. Remember we got benched for Damian Harris.
yeah,
And like he was terrible. And then like I don't know if it's, I don't know what happened. The coaches got in his head, or lucky for him because now he's now he's got enough wealth for his grandkids. Like, but the majority of the time, those guys that come in the league, they almost never learn how to get better. Like it just, and I realized that watching Miles Sanders kind of helped open my eyes. Like, oh, either you, and then watching not Charles Barkley, watching Saquon Barkley, like watching Saquon, like, oh my gosh, he sees everything all the time.
yeah.
Like he sees it before anyone else does. And I think you just realize like what a special. I mean, LaShawn McCoy was that way. Brian Westbrook. The Eagles have had guys in the past, so I've seen it, but I think I undervalued it back then. Then it was like watching LaShawn McCoy. I didn't value it, and then watching Miles Sanders for several years, and then watching Barkley. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, there's something different here.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Just watch. Yeah. Miles Sanders has never really just gotten better. It's funny that you said Saquon Charles. Where I was having dinner with my family, and my dad was talking about. He's like, hey, did you see Saquon Barkley's wife? She's beautiful. Like, yeah. I was like, And my sister's like, really? And he's like, yeah. My dad's like, yeah. He's Saquon's a good looking guy, and why is you surprised that he has a beautiful wife? And my sister's like, Barkley's not good looking. He's so fat and ugly. and my dad's like, are you thinking of Charles Barkley? And it's like, yeah, oops.
I love that your sister doesn't know the difference between Charles Barkley and Saquon Barkley.
I was cracking up. But the way she said he's so fat and ugly, yeah. Poor Charles Barkley. Sorry if you're listening to this, Charles. He's like listening to this like random show. He saw like Charles Barkley's bored right now. And he watches like Law and Order at night. He's like, oh, let me check out the show. And he's like, then he hears it randomly. He's like a tear that's going down his eye right now. Anyway, would you trade Kamara or Connor with Terry, Worthy, and Joku for Chase?
Jamar Chase?
I mean, I would take Chase. Yeah, give me Chase for the whole package. Like,
Yeah.
please just give me Chase. Yes.
Yeah, Jamar Chase is one of the top. He's one of the top whatever top at least top 5, if not top 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
And in my mind, he's the only guy in the top 3 rounds that like I think is genuinely safe. Like I can't, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. No. I would definitely do that. I'm old enough to remember the 6 preseason games. They used to call them exhibition games, but the NFL wanted to sound more important, so they switched to the name preseason games. Which I guess it makes sense. Exhibitions like, oh, this doesn't count. Preseason.
Mike,
like, oh, we're getting ready for the preseason.
Mike, I'm 43. I don't remember that.
I vaguely remember it. I do remember it. I think 6 preseason games. When okay, through 77. I guess I was just looking through the history books and I remember seeing it. So we were not alive. So that's why we don't remember it. But I do remember like looking because I have like. It's a shame I'm not drafting up. I don't have this upstairs because like I have a whole bookshelf full of like NFL almanacs from every year that I used to get, and then like I would just always comb through the results, and that's how I'd always see like 6 preseason games. Like, why are they doing this? So I do remember seeing it, but we were not alive for it. So that's kind of nuts. Yeah. So anyway, I guess that's it for this episode. Thank you so much, guys, for watching and commenting and drafting with us. We have one more draft to go. It's tomorrow. Nugget said he's going to be on the show, so it's going to be a very interesting time. And we'll maybe Butters will join too. I'm not sure. He said he was a question mark. Butters is questionable, but Nugget said he's probable. So
I'll be in my bed listening to you guys. This pretty much has become our normal thing. Every night I'm in bed. I'm like listening to the After Dark show. Every night we fall asleep to you.
That's awesome.
My wife's like, can you please turn that down?
Well, at least she didn't say turn it off. She didn't say turn it off. She didn't turn it down. So that I'll take that as a compliment. So that's great. I'm glad you listened. I gave you a shout out yesterday. I don't know if you heard it. I was I don't know what I was saying.
No,
maybe the other day. And I was like I think I was talking about how you used to draft when we started doing fantasy football. You would always draft Tony Gonzalez in the second round because he was like so much better than every other tight end. And now you're Mr. Never draft tight end early at all. It's because it's so different now because like the tight end position has become like much more common for teams to use.
Right.
So I thought it was interesting that like when I first met you, you're like take Gonzalez every time second round, but like now you just don't want to draft tight ends.
Yep. Yeah, because he was the only one. There were so few tight ends that actually ran a lot of routes.
Yeah, Ben Winter Coates, and like it was he was like
Wesley Walt.
Yeah, they were like 6th round guys, and people take, but Gonzalez is the right move every time.
OJ Santiago.
That's right. Yeah, lots of old. I love those old names. Just hearing them. Mark Shimura, of course. He was. Remember, I had Brett Favre to Shimura. That GIF on the site.
That's right.
Like, man, I doubt anyone, or if anyone in the chat is still here and have remember those days. The first years of WalterFootball.com, it wasn't even WalterFootball.com. It was centralhigh.net/wcherp/football.html. Good luck if you found that. At the top there would be like a Walter Football like poorly designed graphic, and then it would be a Brett Favre throwing to Mark Shimura like all over and over again, just like that. And like Shimura catching the ball. So like I wasn't even a Packer fan. I just like that assignment, we needed a GIF like that. So when I created the website, and so I was there for a while, and then I took it off. I forget when I took it off, but it didn't look very professional. Looked like a GeoCities thing. It's so bad.
GeoCities.
Yeah,
Oh, by the
remember
way,
that?
the capsfake.com has a new logo. I don't know if you see that. We just redesigned
Oh,
that.
oh wow, that's nice. That looks cool. Yeah, check out the captainfaith.com. Lots of articles here, new logo. This looks sharp.
We
Who designed this? Well, you
Oh, I
said
did in
we.
Canva.
Oh, you said we. I thought maybe you had
Wait, no, me. We is me. It's a
okay.
pronoun. It's my preferred pronoun of the we.
Okay. Nice. Um
I'm working on a redesign of the site. I want to redesign the front page
Okay.
and try to categorize content. So
Very nice. Yeah. I mean, look, this lots of great content. Content's king. You have lots of great content on the site. Cool new logo. I wonder because I do all my stuff in ChatGPT. I wonder how that would have gone. I have a Canva account. I just never really learned how to use it, but I just use ChatGPT for the
I mean,
thumbnails.
yeah, ChatGPT is great.
It is. ChatGPT 5. 5 is great. I think like the earlier iterations weren't as good, but like ChatGPT 5's like pretty good.
I pretty much have stopped Googling. I haven't Googled anything in a month.
Yeah, I mean, why do it? Like Grok's great with certain things. I feel like design is better on ChatGPT, but like asking Grok for like specific like sports things is better. I found, but I don't know. I haven't tried ChatGPT 5 for that. So, also ChatGPT is like less willing to give gambling advice. Whereas like if you ask Grok, like what's the best tennis bet for today, it'll tell you. Or it's like ChatGPT is like I cannot issue gambling advice. It's like Grok is just like I don't care. I'll just give it to you. So that's the difference there. But
So good.
I'm a degenerate. So maybe I should ask where the best Asian lesbian porn is, and then I'll get my answer.
No. No, you should not be watching gay, lesbian, Asian porn of any kind.
Why not? Do you know how it's so hard to find, man? It's
Oh my gosh.
it's difficult. Yeah, they have 40-man rosters. So, all right, guys. I don't want to get Kenny in trouble here. So that's it for the show. Like I said, we'll be back tomorrow for final mock draft. We'll be back Saturday too to kind of discuss, the week one. Tom's gonna be on the show. Tom's birthday is on Friday, by the way. So wish him happy birthday on Saturday. And yeah, that's it for tonight. Please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video. Visit walterfootball.com and thecaptainfake.com. But I will talk to you next time.
You the man, Walt.